already know the drill. We back again with another episode of Buckle Up with the Boys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So strap on your seatbelts, cause it's all pedal to the metal from here. And without further ado, your amazing host, Drew, Billy.
Welcome back to another episode of Buckle Up with the Boys with your host here, DB, and host Trevor Dinsmore. Trevor, how are you doing on, it's a decent Tuesday. Nice and warm out.
You know, I feel like that's somewhat of a clickbait question. So you need to get some better material. You need to get a little bit more original with your introductions here. And as such, I'm not going to be answering that question. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Don't worry. I'm having a party just like everybody else. Yeah. And just like everybody else on Sunday night when Gunther tapped out to the Eatmeister, I was doing this and this and this and that and this and this for about 20 minutes straight. I felt like my arms were going to fall out of my sockets, which is definitely better than I felt toward the main event of that particular program. But, such is life. That was actually WrestleMania Saturday that opened the show. Rightfully so.
No, it was a hell of a time.
Good WrestleMania. Yes. Good WrestleMania. Yeah, not bad. Yeah. Not 40, but it was pretty good.
Yeah. Stay along with us. We got some football news here. We got Trevor's draft dissertation, and also we're going to be reviewing our WrestleMania picks and then his segments as well, and then later on with me with debate time. But a lot of news here. Well, actually, not a lot of news. Decent news on NFL though. Cam Jurgens has agreed to terms on a 4-year extension that will put him under contract through 2029 season for the Philadelphia Eagles. The deal is $68 million. Trevor, they are going again, like we talked about 2 weeks ago when we were with you beautiful people. They are focusing on the line, and that's where they're investing. Good signing here.
Cam Jurgens is one of the best. You couldn't ask for a much better follow-up to, I would say, the GOAT center of our generation, Jason Kelce. Very hard to fill his shoes. Cam Jurgens does that to the best of his ability. And obviously, as long as he can be in the center of that tush push and just take all of the shit that comes with that, keep on trucking for however many years his career is going to be, all the more power to the Eagles to lock him up for a long, long time. What, 4 years, 68? That's pretty good. That's less than what Dan Moore is making. I don't know how, but it is.
Right.
I always go back to that. 4 years, 82. I still don't understand that one, but I do understand Philadelphia locking up another center for a long, long time.
Yeah. Good to see that's in the comments. Anyways, swinging over here as well. Jane Daniels took the world by storm last season with his rookie performance, and also taking away the Offensive Rookie of the Year award as well. He's looking forward here, Trevor. He's looking to keep making gains. He knows that now they got a full season of film on him, but he's going to continue to blossom his trade. Do you have any concerns with him having a sophomore slump?
No, not really. I think he did flourish under a very good offensive coordinator, Mike Denbrock, while at LSU. And Mike Denbrock knows better than anybody you have to adapt from year to year to year to year because, new teams are going to have film on you. They're going to have little nuances that they pick out. You have to adjust your tendencies. And essentially you have to – it's as if you have to have no tendencies. You're still going to have them. Every player does, but you gotta work within those, and you got to make sure that they're not that easy at tip-offs. And to me, Jane Daniels doesn't have too many tip-offs just from the film that I've watched on him. He usually adjusts his snap count, kind of throws to all ends of the field. That is a little bit reliant on certain throws, but obviously that'll come with development and maturity. But no, I think he's going to be just fine. And he's, he has a nice load of weaponry around him as well that'll help him out.
Yeah. No, and just for if you don't know what we're talking about here, this stellar season, Gene Daniel said he threw for
Pronounce that correctly, by the way. Very good. Stellar.
Yeah, 3,000. He had 3,568 yards and 25 touchdowns, and also on the ground, 891 yards and 6 scores as well on 148 carries. So, and also led the fucking led the Commanders to the 12-5 record. No one thought.
Don't forget an NFC Championship. They made it to the NFC Championship.
Yeah. But no, I think the sky's the limit for the kid, and like we.
Crotch rocket.
Yep, it's springtime, and I'm really loving it. Anyways,
we're gonna. Hey, the weather's nice. Come on, buddy. We're out of that hell of a winter, but anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, the Denver Broncos though entered the offseason with a need at running back. Interview with Sean Payton pre-draft news conference. He alludes to they'll be focusing on the running back position, and he feels it's a pretty good draft for running backs. And like we talked about earlier, Trevor, it could just be a fluffer. He might just throw that out there, and they're not actually looking for running backs, like you said. So this is the most toxic time I think in the NFL season because no one's telling the truth. Or they are, and you don't know for sure.
I would argue this, and right after the NFL Combine is just when rumors just swirl like tornadoes in Oklahoma.
Yes. Yeah,
shit's constantly thrown around. This team's going to draft this guy. This team's going to trade back. They're going to trade the number 3 pick. They're going to trade back. Oh no, they're going to take a quarterback. They're going to take an edge rusher. They're going to trade back, get 2 picks, and take a receiver and then a quarterback. It's tough to keep up with. And Sean Payton, if there's anybody that knows how to play a good poker game, it's probably Sean Payton, and he's playing a good poker game right now for the Denver Broncos. He is correct in saying that this is a pretty deep running back draft, as we're going to get into later. Beyond Ashton Jeanty and Omarion Hampton, you have 2 Ohio State guys that are going to be absolute studs in their own respective ways. You got Caleb Johnson out of Iowa. I love Cam Skattebo. You know that. Yes. I think the Steelers should draft him and let him run gadget plays. I think that would be fun. Are we going to go 10-7 doing it still? Probably. But guess what? I want to have a little bit of fun. And Cam Skattebo, watching him run is fun. Then, of course, LaQuint Allen out of Syracuse. Even the guys that didn't do very well that still have, I would say, good potential, like your Ollie Gordons and your Donovan Edwardses, didn't have stellar seasons at all. But one of them was on the cover of NCAA Football 25 for a reason. Yeah, kind of a new curse developing there, if you will. But he had to do something to get on the cover.
Yeah,
and. So we'll see what those guys are able to do in the NFL. So it's not just the first round for running backs, as many people might believe. It rarely is.
Yeah.
And I know that, there's going to probably just be 2 guys, Hampton and Jeanty. We know where Jeanty's probably going to go top 10. I would venture to guess.
Yeah.
And then, what's his name? Omarion Hampton, not going to be far behind, but those other guys, you can still get good value for them on day 2, maybe even early day 3, if you really, whether you fumble the bag on a pick beforehand or whether just a better talent is available. Like, imagine if Tet McMillan falls to the Broncos and they take a running back. Might not be received well in Denver.
No. And that's why I'm so freaking excited for Thursday. It's going to be electric on here. But
yes,
anyway, fast forward. I know this might be in the eyes of some folks old news, but it's not, because I definitely want to get a read on what Trevor feels on it and also publicly say what the hell I feel. But Aaron Rodgers kept his future plans under wraps during a Thursday appearance on Pat McAfee. First public appearance, Trevor, since January. He's saying he's open to anything but attached to nothing. Also went after the Jets organization. He felt, and this is the real kicker for me. He goes, I had to pay out of my pocket to fly over there. Okay, Rodgers, first off, you're not a normal person in the financial side. But anyways, flew over there. It lasted 15, 20 seconds. He already kind of knew what the hell was going on. And he left displeased. how much of a head case is this guy? And also, how much are the head cases in his inner circle?
on what scale are we grading this?
I think he's going to get himself out of not getting signed anywhere.
It seems like it's coming to that.
That's what it's coming to head here.
You know, there was a point in time not too long ago where I felt Rodgers to the Steelers was inevitable. The more time goes on, and I know we had a prediction a while back, this might last until draft week. Well, guess what? It's draft week and nothing's happening still. There's no headway made whatsoever. And I know he said this last week on the show, but still, like, the longer he can keep the spotlight on him, the better. That's classic narcissist. Classic narcissist.
Yep.
That's the... How do I want to phrase this? Tomlin has his Tomlinisms. Rodgers should have his Rodgersisms now. What did he say? Open to anything, attached to nothing.
Yes.
That is the most Aaron Rodgers thing that he could ever possibly say. That's like front page of the Aaron Rodgers book of narcissism.
Yeah. Yeah.
That should be the title, actually. That should be the title.
Correct.
Open to everything, i.e., dancing in the woods, smoking peyote, and, painting yourself with body paint and mud and going on silence retreats and shit, and then attached to nothing. We know you're not attached to your significant other anymore, and the disparaging remarks she made about how you made her life a living hell. And nor are you attached to a football team right now. So
correct.
Looking forward to Rodgers' new book coming out. Hopefully coming out early next year. Maybe he writes it this summer when he's not signed to a team, when he's waiting for a team to eventually wait for a quarterback to get injured in week 12 or 13. And then all of a sudden they're going to call him up Baker Mayfield style, and he's going to come in and save the day. I think that's what he's waiting for at this point. Might as well. I mean, like, you're constantly going to be in the media anyway. You're going to be at the top of everyone's mind in the league.
Yep.
Might as well just wait until like week 13, 14, maybe stay somewhat healthy, work out a little bit, throw with some NFL guys. Hell, you can just go on McAfee's show, move to Indianapolis, and then just toss the ball across the court they have in the what is it, the Thunderdome? The Thunderdome. But I really don't know what to make of his situation anymore.
And I'm going to be honest too. If the football side doesn't work out, he's already a Hall of Famer, but he should go into acting because he kept bouncing around personal matters. He kept throwing out personal matters, saying he had personal matters. Wouldn't go any further with that. So I think he's just a head case at this point. And also, I think Dustin had a question for us with the QB situation in Pittsburgh. Did see Omar Khan.
We'll get into that.
Apologize. All right, we'll get into, but we'll pivot there. Anyway, but yeah, Rodgers still a head case, staying wherever the hell he is. He was on some deck somewhere with a dog. That's all we have right now for you folks. But anyways, going forward as well, Brad Paisley is going to be headlining the NFL draft concert on Saturday night. Very excited for that. Very interesting pick. I'm okay with that, though. I haven't heard Brad Paisley's music in a long time. I'm not going to lie to you beautiful people out there. But how do you feel about Brad Paisley headline?
That's fine.
I don't have anything wrong with
and I know, what is it, the NFL concert series presented by Bud Light?
Yes.
Country artist from who peaked in the, I would say, the aughts in the early 2010s, perhaps.
Yeah.
And was probably not that much to recruit in comparison to a Luke Combs or to a Morgan Wallen or to a Parker McCollum, which I guess Parker McCollum's kind of blowing up now after he was on McAfee's thing. The big night at, if you will. Yes. Getting the nod from Pat McAfee as, and I quote, the coolest dude ever, which, seems like it. Never met Parker personally and never met Brad Paisley personally. I only hope he plays Mud on the Tires, though. I love that song of his. And I only hope he has, one of his featured songs he plays in that set list with, likes of Kelsey Ballerini or somebody like that coming out. That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah. No, excited
Is that,
for that.
do we know when that's happening? Is that happening like during the draft or like at an after party? What's the deal with that?
I think it's an after party on Saturday.
After
the
party
third
on
round.
Saturday.
After the third
Okay, so after everything's all wrapped up, said and done. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Send the folks home happy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's in Green Bay, and we're excited to see what the hell's going on down there.
I know Wisconsinites, they love their country music and they love to drink. So that'll be perfect.
Little cheese
I once
curd
saw
action.
Oh yeah, I once saw some sort of statistic where like 60 out of the 100 drunkest counties in America were in Wisconsin, something like that.
Very nice.
So
Very nice.
they gotta get their shit together over there. Maybe start going by the 420 philosophy, which hope everyone had a happy 420 and a happy Easter as well.
Yes.
And if you combine the two, more power to you. Wisconsin needs more of that.
Yes. But swinging over here, this is going to be an interesting topic. And I don't know how to lead off in any better way, but every time an Ohio State Buckeye is in the spotlight a little bit towards the draft, I hate that university even more. But Will Howard, Pennsylvania native, we do appreciate that aspect of him, plans on making any team that passes on him regret it. He feels his whole career he's been overlooked, Trevor. He was overlooked by Pitt, Syracuse, Boston College, Penn State, Duke, Carolina. The list goes on and on and on. But anyways, he furthermore goes, I'm going to make it a mission to make sure that they regret not picking me if they don't pick me in the draft. Feelings on that. I know we're going to get further into that in a minute here, but just your thoughts on his confidence or cockiness. I don't know how to take it.
I would argue confidence.
Okay.
Because he was not a highly recruited prospect coming out of high school.
Okay.
At least he wasn't mentioned much in the Pittsburgh area or in PA at all. I didn't hear much from him. Then all of a sudden he bursts onto the scene at Kansas State, goes on and wins a national championship with Ohio State. You know, to go from not being highly recruited and even, the likes of Penn State and the Carolinas shooting you down to winning a national championship, you got to bust some ass. You got to be surrounded by some good players, good coaches, but you got to bust some ass as well. So I don't mind his comments at all. I've seen he has the physical tools.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, we saw his combine, didn't have the great combine there, but has the size, has the capabilities to succeed in the NFL if he busts ass. And I know he's going to be able to do that. So, and again, that's the kind of mentality that you have to have going into this NFL draft. You have to believe your own hype and build your own stock up too.
Yeah.
So, and you got to toe that line between confidence and cockiness. We know people that don't do that quite as well as Will Howard, and one of them might be drafted in the top 10, maybe to the Raiders.
I can't wait. Oh, it's gonna
I know. I only hope Nate's watching this program. He'll be. We'll see his reaction to the projected pick that I have for his Las Vegas Raiders. So,
getting some knowledge in the comments there. All right.
Oh yeah. Good to know. I'm imparting wisdom on people. I like it.
But moving forward as well, and to all the Raiders fans out there, I guess you could be excited about it or not, or who really cared. But Max Crosby, Max Crosby is added as the assistant general manager title to his ledger, as well as a dominant pass rusher for the Raiders. And that is for his old alma mater, Eastern Michigan University, and that was announced Monday. That Crosby has been named assistant GM for the football team, which entails evaluating high school and transfer portal prospects and helping manage the team's NIL and revenue share budget. On top of trying to stay in shape, Trevor, this guy adds this to his resume. Are we going to keep seeing universities reach out to their most prominent alumni? And a caveat to this, you think he's getting paid for this or he's just giving his time?
I would hope he's getting paid for this.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know whether there's like a conflict of interest or something where you can't be a GM for a college team and an NFL player. Obviously, there's really not. There must be some workaround for it, some way to kind of thread the needle with it. Well, I guess that's more the case if it's NFL and NFL rather than NFL and college, but that's still kind of unnecessary at this point in time for him, especially, he's in the prime of his playing career, just signed a big deal with the Raiders again. Yeah. So I don't know. Seems like a lot. And I just looked up to figure out what degree he has, because maybe he has a sports information degree, maybe he has or like a business degree or something like that to manage the NIL budget. He has a degree in communications. I mean, nothing against that profession, but how much you're using that within being the assistant GM of Eastern Michigan University, I'm not sure. And I know Eastern Michigan needs all the help they can get.
Yes.
But to me, this just seems more like a name play than anything else.
That's what I thought as well.
Get some attention on Eastern Michigan, via their most famous alum, leveraging their most famous alum. Can't say I blame them. But how much he's actually going to serve in that assistant GM role, yet to be seen. And honestly, we're probably not going to see a whole lot of it. It's going to be behind closed doors for the most part. I only wish him the best. And I only wish the Raiders the best as well. Hopefully he can do a nice balancing act and still remain an all-pro talent in the NFL.
Yeah. No, and as well, just to pay homage to him, after this was announced, Eastern Michigan's football program, usually the weak side defense end position's called Leo. They changed it to Max. So,
yeah.
A little cool there. A little cool. But anyways.
Nice little nod. Tip of the cap.
Pay homage. But switching over, this guy is a Penn State alum, Trevor, but he's a Cowboy now. Micah Parsons, I'm very shocked by this, did indeed attend the opening of Dallas Cowboys offseason workout program, even though the deal is still out there. Do you feel he's only attending the workout program so Jerry gives him money? It's pretty blunt.
It's a very, very blunt question. Yeah. We're going to talk about a little bit more about Micah Parsons here in a different light. We can dive into this issue real quick.
Yeah.
That could be an incentive. That could definitely be an incentive. But usually if you want money, you don't show up to voluntary workouts. Usually you hold out for that sort of stuff. And I would think Micah Parsons would be a guy to hold out, if you will, if it comes to that.
Yes.
So I don't know. To me, I think it's just a routine thing for him. Stay in shape and to, get chemistry with his teammates, all that good stuff. Get the season started on his normal schedule. I don't think it's a money play. I think the money play comes if he, sits out training camp and then potentially sits out preseason. And then if he's negotiating all the way until week 1 of the regular season. So I could very well see that happening. I mean, I can't crystal ball that right now. I don't know too much about that specific situation, but to me, this just seems like just a normal routine thing for him getting the season started, like I said, on his schedule.
Yeah. No, but that's, I think, all I had for news. Yeah, that's all I had for news. I'll be back later with debate time. We can go over to Trevor's news and segments.
Yeah. We're going to actually dive right into the draft dissertation, if you will, this week, covering the last 2 positions on my big board, quarterbacks and running backs. We're going to go running backs first and then quarterbacks second, because I know there's a lot of intrigue and interest as to where those quarterbacks are going to go, as always. But as mentioned before, this is a pretty deep running back class, and you'll see that with some of the names that I've already listed off and some of the names that I will continue to list off. But anyway, we'll jump right in.
Yes. Gotcha.
To the dissertation.
Oh, yeah.
I got the jacket put on thing down already. So last week I did this, and I finally got the jacket thing down.
We're here at Dinsy's draft dissertation with Trevor.
All right, let me pull up my little handy dandy draft noise for everybody to hear, and we're going to start right in. Nate, I'm glad you're here. because we're actually starting with the Raiders pick. So
very nice.
Hang on one second. Okay, here we go. With the 6th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders will select O'Marion Hampton. No, I'm just kidding. It's Ashton. Oh. It's Ashton Genty.
Oh, it's like, well, all right.
No. That would be a Vince McMahon as the I don't know. He's that dark overlord back in the day. It'd be that sort of a swerve. It would be a swerve for the sake of a swerve, and there's no reason behind that swerve because undoubtedly Ashton Genty is the highest graded prospect in this year's draft. He gets a 7.15, highest of anybody, meaning Pro Bowl talent. Stands 5'9", 211, big, giant bruiser, and just some hardware that he got just in 2024. Was a first-team AP All-American, Mountain West Offensive Player of the Year, first-team All-Mountain West. Won the Doak Walker Award, which is the nation's top running back. Maxwell Award, Player of the Year. Finalist for the Heisman Trophy, finished second only to Travis Hunter. Led the NCAA with 2,600 rushing yards, 28 short of breaking one Barry Sanders rushing record. That was on 374 carries, by the way, so just an astronomical workload and still managed to do all that. Led the NCAA with 2,750 all-purpose yards, had a touchdown receiving, 23 receptions, 138 yards, ranked second in the FBS with 29 rushing touchdowns. Jesus. Just absolutely unreal production out of Ashton Genty. And yes, I know it was at Boise State. It was in the Mountain West, but still, you got to give it to the kid. Getting comparisons to, like this, LaDainian Tomlinson.
Oh.
When you toss out LaDainian Tomlinson, people think of a franchise-changing player. That could definitely be the case for your Las Vegas Raiders there, Nader. Yes. And I will say in regards to Ashton Genty, Warren, into his fundamentals here, runs low to the ground, wide base, excellent footwork, good out of the backfield catching the ball. It needs to improve a little bit on the pass protection, but doesn't really do a whole lot of that anyway. And he does get fumble prone against better defenses that are a little bit more physical with him, that, pull a TJ Watt and try to punch the ball out. We saw that against Penn State. And that was it. I forget exactly what bowl it was, but that quarterfinal game in the college football playoff is a very, very big play threat. He had 9 runs of 50 yards plus in 14 games this past season. Just amazing. And is described by many as the most complete back in this year's draft, undoubtedly, unquestioned.
Yeah. Saw highlights of him. Film, whatever the hell you want. But did not. I see LT. I do see that comparison. Shoots the hole fast, Trevor. He can catch the ball good out of the backfield. Probably could do some trickery with him if you wanted to.
Potentially.
But
didn't really need that at Boise State. Just kind of ran over people. And quite frankly, the biggest knock on him was his stance in the backfield, is that he just stands straight up.
He does. Yes. Okay.
When you're coming damn near the rushing record for college football, I think you can stand however the hell you want.
The guy, I know Nate's watching. This would not, God rest his soul, but I don't think Al Davis would draft this guy. But the new regime's in there. Tom Brady's there. They see a dog, they're going to get the dog. And it's a hell of a pick. And I'm excited to see where the hell he goes, because he is a dog.
No, absolutely. And my thought is Tom Brady's in there now. He's running the show. He's going to make a little bit more sensible a pick. If Al were still around, or if it was just Mark Davis running the show, I would have easily pegged Shedeur here. Easily.
Oh, all day.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah. It just seems like that type of guy that they would draft. And up until today, I had Shedeur at 6. But then I thought about it for a little while longer, and I was like, Saints kind of need him. Carr's out with the injury. Yes, I did. I kind of spoiled, one of my upcoming picks. But anyway, and like I said, Tom Brady running the show a little bit more heady and forward looking with his picks.
And now it's, I really like his confidence. I like his swagger. Anyways,
say it too.
All right, we're good. I've been working on that because I knew the Raiders were going to be talked about, and I was working on that impression. But all right, keep it moving.
Oh, that was better than the impression that when they did Al Davis versus the NFL, and they dressed up those whoever's as Pete Rozelle and Al Davis.
Yes. Hell of a documentary if you haven't seen it. That very good, very good. Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah. Trig, the boss, you're going to get your wish here in a second. I don't know who you're a fan of, but we got the Vikings pick coming up next. Dig it out here. Hang on. Here we go. With the 24th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Omarion Hampton, a running back out of the University of North Carolina.
Hell yeah.
Trig the boss. Hopefully that pleases you a little bit. But anyway, on Omarion Hampton, 6'0", 221, got a 6.35 prospect grade. Could be a plus starter down the line. Ran a 4.46, decently quick. Getting comparisons to Ramondre Stevenson of the New England Patriots, who's had some stellar seasons for them.
Yes.
And I love the first thing in his draft bio. I'm paraphrasing here, but carved from stone. Like his physique is just off the charts, looks like an athlete, behaves like an athlete, and also looks like an athlete, has more abs than I have toes, and is just an absolutely physical specimen, if you will. But anyway, this guy, very good in the off tackle runs, not quite as good in getting, stretched out and in like sweep runs and working in space. He can't really outrun guys to the edge, but he can work well within a good system with good blockers. Was second team AP All-American in 2024, first team All-ACC, second team All-ACC All-Purpose, and finalist for the Doak Walker Award, which is the nation's top running back. Of course, he was right behind Ashton Genty. Led the team with 15 rushing touchdowns, ranked third in the FBS with 1,660 rushing yards, not too shabby himself, 5.9 per carry average as well. Very good. 2,033 all-purpose yards, had a couple receiving touchdowns tossed in there as well. So very tough guy, very versatile, similar to Ashton Genty, but like I said, getting more Ramondre Stevenson comparisons, so kind of dumbing it down a little bit. One key difference with Hampton and Genty, though, is the one-cut ability. Genty has it. Omarion Hampton really doesn't. And a lot of times gets himself into trouble when he welcomes guys in for contact. Now, he does need gang tackling to get him down quite a bit, but he'll sometimes seek out contact where contact doesn't need to be sought. That brings up, of course, issues of durability and, potentially breaking plays where plays shouldn't be broken. But still a hell of a talent, and looking forward to what he can do if he, in fact, does go to the Vikings. And I know they have Aaron Jones, but I don't think they would mind having two good running backs on the roster that you could go to. A good 1-2 punch, if you will. Aaron Jones, more of the receiving versatile back. Omarion Hampton, much more the physical, perhaps a third down goal line back.
I like this guy because he's looking for violence. That's okay. He's kind of.
I know you like people that look for violence.
No. But what do we got here for? Oh, you want him at 20 for Bo and the horse. Okay.
Broncos guy. Yeah. Okay. Well, I can see that too. I have them taking. I have them taking Tet McMillan because I think Tet McMillan falls that far. The Broncos.
Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, no, but this guy. I'm getting like a Marshawn Lynch kind of likes to get in there. Luguerre blunt, really pulling it back. He just couldn't put down the blunts. But anyways, neither. No.
Luguerre. It's appropriate.
Yes.
2 days after 420. So
yes. But I'll say this. No, I think wherever he ends up, I think we need to get back to those running backs that just hit the hole hard, Trevor, and knock some guys down, pull them over. But yeah,
your Jerome Bettis is.
Oh, give it to me! Come on.
Right. You're Mike Allstott. Well, back to Mike Allstott. Yeah. I mean,
But-
this guy not quite there, but
Yeah.
like I said, has the size. Hopefully, like I said, the durability is always a concern with running backs. Chief among this prospect coming into this year's draft.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
and that's all I had for the analysis of running backs.
Okay.
As far as first round picks go, I did want to bring up,
Yep.
like I said, this very, very deep running back class. A couple guys that are ranked just behind these gentlemen. 2 guys from Ohio State who are pretty much the same running back. They only differ in that one can run block and is a little slightly more physical. One really can't. That's Trevor Henderson and Quinshon Judkins out of Ohio State University. Now, these guys, pretty similar metrics. Trevion, 5'10", 202. Quinshon, 6'0", 221. So Quinshon being that slightly more physical back and is very good in blitz pickup. When the offensive linemen can't handle their responsibilities or there's a stunt coming, Quinshon usually was able to come in and take care of business. Trevion, more that swing receiving back, very versatile. Trevion getting comps to Aaron Jones, who I just mentioned, alongside Omarion Hampton with the Vikings, and then Quinshon getting comparisons to Joe Mixon.
I see that.
So very, very hard-nosed. Both very quick and versatile. One is willing to pick up blitzes. One is not.
And I'll say this for any NCAA players out there. I know we allude back to that video game that came out in the summer. But Judkins, they had to nerf him because they screwed up his juke. He was unstoppable, Trevor.
I know. I played against him several times. I wish
like,
they would have nuked Isaiah Bond earlier. Okay. I wish they would have done that, but they did nuke Judkins. So
those 2 guys, though, 2-headed monster, and no, they're going to find a home in the NFL without a doubt. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely. Looks like Trevion per ESPN was the 31st ranked prospect. So
wow,
could even see him go to the first round if the right trade happens, or if somebody figures out that, hey, maybe we need a running back now. And Judkins was 51st ranked overall. I mean, Trevion he fits the modern game a little bit more, that the typical swing back working out of the backfield, and is a little bit more durable than Judkins.
Yeah.
But Judkins still hell of a talent, hell of a specimen, as we saw in NCAA 25 and throughout his season in their national championship season at Ohio State.
Yeah. Fast.
A couple other gentlemen that I did want to bring up here. Caleb Johnson out of Iowa. And he got a 6.21 prospect grade, not too shabby. 61st overall ranked prospect, 6'1", 224, good size on the man. Getting comparisons to Tyler Algier of the Atlanta Falcons, who's right behind Bijan Robinson, was originally thought to be that RB1 until they drafted Bijan. Ran a 4.57, so not terribly quick. But I will say, in regards to him, very good athletic proportional frame, good decision maker, and is able to work out of the backfield a little bit. Does have a below average contact aggression, so especially for his size. Like I said, he's bigger than all of these other prospects, doesn't exactly match up well against physical teams. Of course, that could be a product of just being brought up in the Big Ten. Maybe the film wasn't so great because you're going up against the likes of Penn State and Ohio State and Michigan and all those other teams. But regardless, still a pretty good prospect. However, more of a 2-down back than a 3-down back. Not very good not very good in run protection as well. Similar to Trevion Henderson, won't get 3rd down duties. But yeah. Anyway, what do we think of Mr. Caleb?
I think
he could be a good reserve guy. I think he'll be a good fill-in back, situational.
I'd say he's a sleeper. I think that's what I mean. I watched him against Penn State. He held his own a little bit, but you got Abdul Carter wrapping you up. That's a different story.
Yeah.
But
it's tough.
He can run the ball, though. I don't see him as a starter, though, Trevor, right off the gate. Maybe a 2nd down or 3rd down back or what have you. But he has the physical attributes to be a problem. He just needs to be okay seeking contact. That's all. Yeah.
Kind of an Omarion Hampton type prospect here.
Yep.
but does not seek out contact quite because he was playing in the Big Ten.
Yes,
that's Big Ten is pretty akin to a lot of NFL talent in the Big Ten.
Yep.
I gotta talk about, and speaking of guys with physical gifts that are, I don't think this guy's exactly carved by the gods, but he is a physical specimen, as we saw in the college football playoff. A guy that I've been talking up to Kingdom Come, Cam Skattebo.
Yep.
First of all, love the fucking name. Cam Skattebo. There's not much better of a name coming out of this year's draft than Cam Skattebo. And of course, we saw out of him at Arizona State, absolute dog, as Pat McAfee would say. Absolute dog.
Yes.
Can run, can pass, can catch, can do it all. He scored one of each, I believe, in the quarterfinal against Texas.
Okay.
Or no, I don't think he threw for one, but he did fire that, long trick bomb downfield, good gadget play. Looked like one of Peyton Manning's bad passes, but it still got there and it still was completed. So I will say in regards to Skattebo, getting good comparisons to Jaylen Warren of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And I see it.
Bowling ball.
Yes. Absolute
Bowling ball.
Just bounces off shit.
yeah. Of course, similar to Hampton and with the likes of Caleb Johnson, durability, always a concern with running backs. That's the main concern with Skattebo. Doesn't have a huge catch radius, even though he's able to work out of the backfield. Doesn't have great straight line speed either, much more reliant on the physical aspects of his game, but does have good burst to his top speed out of the backfield, and finds holes pretty well within the offensive line. Tends to burst to the right angle. Some of these guys, they tend to burst too fast and they get caught, the opposite of what Le'Veon Bell would do.
Yes. Yeah, no, I like him. I like him a lot. And I think I just want to make sure we're not bouncing on segments here, but I think you alluded to this would be who we would like the Steelers to maybe seek some interest in.
Third round. Like that.
If he's there, fuck, the film's there, Trevor.
I'd like two Jaylen Warrens. Fuck
it. Here's the thing, and I know there's some Steeler fans and fans of all teams that watch us, but I will tell you, I think me and Trevor already said it publicly. We are not upset about Najee not being on the team anymore. It took him 7 years to get out of the backfield. This guy gets out of the backfield with his fucking speed, leadoff speed, and so does Jaylen. So if you got two of those, the two-headed monster in the backfield, I'll be jacked up.
I'd like that. It would fit with the Steelers. Fit with the Steelers' old school style of football as well. We have said they need to adapt, but that would be a Steelers pick.
It would.
That would be a Steelers pick, and that would be a pick where old school football fans would get absolutely bricked up about.
Yeah. I'm excited.
That includes myself. I have a lot of old school in me.
Yeah.
I'm a Pittsburgh fan, so old school. Yeah. Another talented running back out of the University of Tennessee, one Dylan Sampson, is the 7th ranked prospect at the running back position. Smaller guy, stands 5'8", 200, and is basically the polar opposite of Cam Skattebo, getting comparisons to Brian Westbrook. You remember Brian Westbrook?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
In the past there.
Obviously faced SEC competition, is able to return punts, did that for a time while he was at Tennessee. Got a very good prospect grade at a 6.33, which translates to him being a plus starter down the line. And of course, what you get with smaller backs, lack of physicality, but good in passing, very, very versatile, and very good acceleration, good speed, all that good stuff. And and I love one of his descriptors in his NFL draft profile, uses a Madden spin, which hopefully it's the not nuked Madden spin. Hopefully it's the modern Madden spin where it's just pew, pew, pew. From what I've seen of him, it is. So, good for him. Is a little bit fumble prone, though, as smaller backs tend to be against more physical defenses. So, kind of fits that typical profile of a smaller back like a Darren Sproles, maybe not quite a Darren Sproles type, but similar to that.
Yeah. No, I like the small guys. They move quick. But I hope he finds a home too.
There's a fit somewhere.
Yeah,
there's a fit somewhere.
They like those guys, spidey, little quick niche guys. That's I don't know what is he projected to go? 4th round, 3rd round?
I think so. Or excuse me, 3rd, 2nd or 3rd, late 2nd, early 3rd. Okay. So day 2 guy.
Okay. Yeah, I think he'll.
Oh yeah, no, I mean in all the mock drafts I've seen, only 2 backs are going in the 1st round.
Okay.
Genty and
interesting. Yeah.
Even though, like I said, there is a good bit of talent at this spot.
Yes.
And unsurprisingly, a good bit of them are from the SEC and Big Ten.
Correct. Right.
But such is life.
Yes.
I'll quickly run through a few of these other guys here. Jordan James out of Oregon, another perhaps underlooked Oregon prospect, getting comparisons to Dameon Pierce. He's projected more as a closer to a day 3 guy, likely day 2, maybe 3rd round, but some saying he could go into day 3. Few others. I want to toss out LaQuint Allen out of Syracuse, Trevor Etienne out of Georgia. Allen getting comparisons to James Cook, and Trevor Etienne getting comparisons to Kenneth Walker.
Ooh.
So not too bad. The kind of the main concern with them, again, durability and not a ton of ball production relative to their skill set.
Okay.
So, and of course, LaQuint playing at Syracuse didn't play the toughest of the tough in terms of competition. And then 2 names I brought up earlier, Ollie Gordon and Donovan Edwards, still have NFL talent in their own respective ways. Edwards being the more physical back, Ollie being the more versatile, able to receive out of the backfield, the type of back. But let's not forget, Ollie Gordon was once a Heisman favorite this past season, so had to do something to get that moniker. Obviously, Oklahoma State, very disappointing season. They had 3 wins, very bad. Same thing with Michigan. They won their bowl game, didn't they? They won 7 games. They did beat Ohio State, though.
Yes, they
beat
did.
Ohio State. So
they did.
That was their Super Bowl, and unfortunately, the other Michigan back shined a little bit more than Donovan Edwards. But Donovan Edwards still potential NFL level talent. He's getting comparisons to Keyshawn Vaughn. Ollie Gordon getting comparisons to Bijan Robinson.
I'm a big Bijan guy, so okay.
And maybe not talent level, but play style. That's kind of what these comps are all about.
Right.
Play style.
Right. It's any other running backs, Trevor, or is that?
No, that's all I had, brother. That's all I had. And not all of them that I mentioned. Well, excuse me, let me rephrase. I didn't mention all of them. I only could fit in 15 of them here, or 13, something like that. 12 of them. Otherwise, we'd be going on forever and ever and ever about this class, because it's about 25 running backs deep.
Yeah. No, it's one of the, I think, more exciting positions that doesn't get enough respect that I think viewers out there and us don't know why, but the market's just not appreciate it. I'll tell you, you need a running back there. You need a decent running back to either block or run the damn ball. If they can't pass the damn thing, what the hell are you going to do? You know what I mean? So,
right.
I don't know. That's just how I look at the game of football. But good shit. Yeah.
Cool. All right, moving on to the quarterback portion of
very exciting
our NFL draft dissertation. Yep. I got to pull up the draft noise again. And I know mock drafts have changed since I first started this thing. That's kind of what comes with doing this over time, is verbiage and narratives change constantly.
Correct. And,
picks change, and, sometimes somebody brings up a foot injury and it affects this guy's draft stock, blah, 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 blah. But I will stand by my mock draft, and we'll see how it goes on Thursday. And we're going to go to, like I said, the quarterbacks. Everybody knows who's going to be the first quarterback drafted. It's just a matter of, where's he getting drafted? Who haven't I said yet?
Yeah.
Who haven't I said yet? Who haven't I brought up yet that always drafts a quarterback and fails miserably? They're a division rival.
Browns.
Rival. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The Browns.
Yeah.
With the second overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns will select Cam Ward, quarterback out of Miami.
Yeah.
Very much a Caleb Williams type. Plays a lot of hero ball, has all the physical tools you could ask for, classic gunslinger mentality, getting comparisons to Trig the Boss Heel like this, Bo Nix. Perhaps a less polished Bo Nix at this point because, like I said, that's his main flaw. Plays a lot of hero ball. Ideal size, though, 6'2", 219. Got a 6.39 prospect grade, 92 draft grade. First team AP All-American, ACC Player of the Year, ACC Offensive Player of the Year, and fourth in Heisman voting all in 2024. Set the NCAA record with 158 career passing touchdowns. It's astronomical, by the way.
Yes.
Did a good chunk of those at Wazoo as well. 39 of those were at Miami. 39 passing touchdowns. Led the nation easily. And as far as his intangibles go, does have good pre-snap recognition, very good release point on his ball, or I should say very good snap on his throw, not so much on the release point. That tends to vary, which kind of can get him into trouble with batted balls and needs to adjust more so to the size of his offensive line and the size of the defensive line, as well as their tendencies when it comes to his release point. Very mobile and a classic gunslinger.
Damn. Yeah.
Sometimes takes unnecessary risk, but can zip the ball down the field, fit it into tight holes, 25, 30, 40 yards down the field. But yeah, like I said, the hero ball thing, same thing with Caleb Williams. That was the knock on him. And does struggle against disguise coverages, as we saw when they played Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech was somewhat of a giant killer from day one. Beat the 10th ranked Florida State at the time, and had a few other upsets down the line as well. Almost beat Georgia in the rivalry game. Georgia had to hang on in however many overtimes by 2 points. We got into the 2-point conversions. Georgia somehow won that one.
Yes.
But anyway, Cam Ward does struggle as well with eye discipline against zone coverage. Sometimes can't read where the linebacker is versus the safety and the corners and the defensive backs and all that. So, but makes up for it, with his ability to just zing at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah. No, arm talent's there. Decision making at times, Trevor. Yeah.
Gunslinger.
And he doesn't give a fuck. He's going to let go of that ball, and it might be on target or it might not be, but God, he throws a good ball. I hope maybe he could break the curse if he gets drafted by the Browns, because you're celebrating. Go
ahead.
No, you're celebrating, but you're like, shit.
Right. It's the curse.
Yes.
And when you had a good one, you got rid of him.
Yeah. Right. You're just going to give him enough time. That's whatever. No, but yeah, I think Cam Ward's the most pro-ready quarterback in this draft. Yeah.
No, I would argue that. And I know a lot of mock drafts since I started this thing did not have this order, had Cam going first. And that seems to kind of be the consensus right now. Yep. But again, this is the risk I take with doing a mock draft over the course of, I don't know, how many weeks did 7, 8 weeks?
Yeah.
So things change, opinions change. But like I said, I'll have my mock draft here, and then we can do one night of maybe predict the top 10 like we did last year. It's going to be a lot tougher this year than it was last year because there was a clear 1 through 4.
Yeah.
It's not quite as clear. It's getting perhaps a little bit clearer by the minute. But in terms of 1 through 4, we don't know what the hell the Pats are going to do either.
No.
So
no. Could be trade ups. Or could it's gonna be interesting this year. Yep.
Yeah. Right. And I do have a change to announce.
Okay.
And that is the Saints pick. I originally had Shamar Stewart going to them, the edge rusher out of Texas A&M. I have him now going to the Commanders, and Nick Skirton, who I had going to the Commanders, is falling out of the first round. That's what I have now in light of this next pick.
Okay.
So for the Commanders, swapping out Texas A&M edge rushers, and now there it is. In light of the Derek Carr situation and the injury,
Yes.
the Saints, with the 9th overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, will select Shedeur Sanders, quarterback out of Colorado.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I believe this is what Mel Kiper had, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
Shedeur to the Saints, which I know might not be the most flashy market for him.
Wow.
But it is a team in need of a quarterback. If
Yeah.
the Derek Carr injury is more severe than we thought.
Yeah.
But we know what Shedeur is all about. Pretty similar size and confidence and gunslinger mentality to Cam Ward. I won't forget his pre-draft interview. Who's the greatest quarterback of all time? Me in about 15 years.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Getting comparisons to would-be division rival, if he goes at this spot, Michael Penix Jr., although I will say a little bit less heady potentially than Michael Penix Jr. Does have several accolades to his name, though. Second-team All-American, Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year, set the school record with 64 passing touchdowns while at Colorado, and those previous two accolades set in 2024. Started all but one game in school, so stayed relatively healthy. Does obviously confidence isn't an issue. Composure is pretty good relative to his competition in college. Does keep his eyes downfield pretty well, is able to zing the ball in those tight spaces downfield, much like Cam Ward, and he does lead receivers to a lot of yak yards. However, was dependent quite a bit on scheme and, of course, competition.
Yeah.
Dion was able to scheme a shit ton of guys open, including, Travis Hunter. And one big knock on him that I really had to take note of, even bolded it in my notes here, sometimes more willing to take a sack than throw it away. So
Yes.
Another gunslinger-esque quality in Shedeur Sanders' game.
Yeah.
So I know what you think of Shedeur off the field. What do you think of him on the field? What do you think of his potential if he does, in fact, go at number 9 to the Saints?
He would fit with Chris Olave. I'm trying to remember the other young. I mean, Kamara.
Oh, Kamara's there. They have another receiver. I'll look him up while you're talking.
Shit. But I just felt like if it wasn't downfield, Trevor, he was so quick to check down, which is fine. But he just, I think, not comparing him by any means to this guy, but he was like Mitch Trubisky a little bit. He shit himself in the pocket. Instead of getting rid of the ball, he'd get the shit knocked out of him.
Part of that too is he fell too far back in the pocket. Instead of a 3-step, it was a 5-step.
Yep.
And you take that extra couple steps, you're right in the line of the edge rushers. It's not good.
No. But no, I think if he works on some of the what the hell? I just lost what the hell I was going to say.
Fundamentals or just
his craft.
Here.
Yeah, fundamentals, mind, just not thinking you're the baddest shit on the field because there's 265-pound men that will knock the shit out of you, and you'll get humbled quick. But he has all the talent in the world. I just think his mouth might get himself into trouble. I don't think actions. I don't know if he's the best locker room guy. Just leave it at that.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Totally get it.
Yeah.
And that other receiver you're probably trying to think of was that Rashid
yes.
Shaheed.
Yes.
Yeah. Good talent there. They did get Brandon Cooks back too.
Yeah.
For what that's worth.
Yep.
But anyway, just doing something real quick on my Excel.
No, you're okay.
Do have another change to announce. I know I announced the Rams pick a while back. However, I've changed my mind on that one too. Okay. I promise these are the only 2 changes that I have is with these 2 particular picks. As of now, or before, I had the Texans, the Rams taking Josh Connerly. I've now moved him up to the Texans, offensive tackle out of Oregon. And the Rams pick is actually going to be next on my board. For the final pick in this year's edition of Dinsy's Draft Dissertation, with the 26th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Rams will now select Jackson Dart, quarterback, Ole Miss.
Wow.
Okay. Matthew Stafford's heir apparent. Sean McVay thinking ahead here, my friend.
Yes.
I really think that's going to happen. If the Steelers don't take him, I think he goes to the Rams.
Oh, you have to. In their current state.
Right. I mean, yes, Stafford was signed to, I think it was like another 2-year deal. So he's on there for a couple more years, but getting to the twilight of his career. And why not get a guy with a shit ton of talent? Obviously faced SEC competition and could use still a little bit of development. But anyway, similar size to Cam Ward and Shadur Sanders, 6'2", 223, got a 6.17 prospect grade, meaning could be a good backup, could have starter potential. And again, toss him in behind Stafford, one of the greats. See what the hell happens, you know?
Yeah.
First team all SEC, and he did in 2024 finalize school records of 10,617 passing yards, 12,115 total offensive yards. Finalized those over his career at Ole Miss. We're talking about the same school that Eli Manning was a product of. Just tossing that out there. Was able to throw the ball well downfield, got 10.8 yards per attempt in 2024. That was first in the FBS. Was the Gator Bowl MVP against Duke. Does get through his progressions very well. Very good decision maker. Very good escapability. Is able to find holes, and he does slide. He slides. He doesn't always seek out contact as a quarterback, which is very necessary for durability purposes. Very accurate with back shoulder fade routes and routes outside of the boundary, routes more toward the boundary outside of the hash marks. And just as well has the pre-snap ability to alter his cadence and potentially throw off defenses. And if they're disguising something, that they might tip off if he's doing one of those pre-snap, like Rodgers would do.
Yes. Yep.
But however, some knocks on him, not very active footwork, not very active in working on it in the pocket. So, that has to develop as well. Decisiveness in his reads, doesn't always read the right coverage, especially in zone. Hence why he needs that pre-snap ability to try and, figure out if something's disguised or not. Doesn't do very well with disguised coverages either. Doesn't do very well working off platform, meaning labored throws. They take a little bit more effort than they should, and they sometimes they flop.
Yeah.
And just as well, not very great deep throw accuracy. Does need to work on that a little bit. More reliant on those intermediate routes and like yards after the catch, all that good stuff. And he had very speedy receivers, chief among them Trey Harris. Well, he was at Ole Miss. Getting comparisons to now former Raider, now Chief Gardner Minshew.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Decent. And
I see that a little bit.
Gardner Minshew is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Gardner Minshew, kind of a career backup starter on like a bridge team.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what Jackson Dart could be to the Rams, or he could develop into something more with the tutelage from Sean McVay if Sean McVay chooses to stick around.
Yeah, one of the best coaches to learn from, I feel. Some people have their opinions
on
him.
Yeah. And to me, that's where he's going to have the most potential, and that's where I think he'd start in a few years after Stafford's done.
Yep. Jackson, and I'm most excited about, because I know we're not going to be able to get Ward or Shadur. Who the hell knows?
If Shadur goes past the Saints, or some people even saying if he goes past the third pick, he might fall out of the first round. I've seen a couple mock drafts where he's mocked outside of the first round.
Yeah.
So I've seen anywhere from 1 to 4 quarterbacks taken first round.
But I like Jackson Dart. I like his highlights and his film. Yeah. But I do see the inaccuracy of the downfield. It's more the wide receivers making the play than his accuracy, like kind of laying it up for him. So
right,
but he's a starter. I think he could start. Does have to work on some stuff though. But yeah.
And to me, he has the right mentality to be under Sean McVay. Has a learning mentality and is described. He was described as a born leader at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
So
I just I know some people are making comparisons. Not, I don't think us, but he is not Kenny Pickett. When I watch his film,
no.
this guy, he's a dog. All right,
he's good. He's actually good. He's not some sort of flash in the pan that had a great season in a weak conference.
Yeah.
This guy had 2 to 3 really good seasons in a very, very tough conference. So let's give him his flowers a little bit. Kenny Pickett was first team all ACC, Jackson Dart, first team all SEC. Big difference in those 3 letters.
Right. And I'll say this. I don't think they always had the most primetime games. That's why not a lot of people thought of him. That's just
Dart
what
you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Oh, yeah. SEC's packed. And I mean, just a thought, too, working under Lane Kiffin.
Correct.
Somewhat known as a QB guru and a schematic guru at that level. So, yeah, a lot of that could have been making Dart look good, but as long as Dart had the right mentality, and from all descriptors and, all people that said anything about him, that seems to be the case.
Yeah, and I've heard him talk a couple times too, Trevor. He has a good head on his shoulders. So.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
God, Stats, I love seeing you. You don't answer my phone calls, but damn, you're in the comments. Anyways, keep it moving.
Remind me, who does Staz like?
He likes the Giants.
He's a Giants guy? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Staz, I have your Giants taking Travis Hunter. That's what I have. I have Travis Hunter falling to the 3rd pick.
This guy thinks
Abdul and Cam going ahead of him.
This guy thinks Eli Manning's better than Big Ben.
Oh, well, I mean, we'll talk.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
Right. Anyway, keep it moving.
No, yep, exactly. Keep it moving. Anyway, moving down the line here. If I can give me a second. 1 second.
Oh, you're good.
My screen just went black. I had to turn on my monitor. Jesus. I don't know how that happened. But technical difficulties. This is what happens when you do things live.
Yeah. No, you're good.
Fuck it. We'll do it live. Sometimes this happens.
Okay.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
All right.
Another guy that the Steelers were potentially looking at, and even some people have him mocked in the first round. Some people have 4 quarterbacks going in the first round, is Tyler Shough out of Louisville. I believe he's the oldest quarterback in this year's draft, super senior while at Louisville. 6'5", 219, so ideal size and frame there for you. Ran a 4.63 40 and a 1.61 10-second split on that. Getting comparisons to, I don't know if you know who Tanner McKee is.
Yes.
The Eagles.
Yes.
Big, tall son of a bitch.
Yep.
That's basically Tyler Shough here. Like I said, 6'5", 219. Was honorable mention All ACC, named 1 of 3 National Comeback Players of the Year in 2024. Did miss a good bit of the 2023 regular season while he was at Texas Tech, recovering from a broken leg. So durability, bit of a concern there.
Yep.
But like I said, had a very good comeback year. Displays very good command and full field passing talent, and does have a splashy arm occasionally for big plays. So
hell yeah.
Very, very good. Very good there. Did miss a time in 21 and 22 as well. So, yeah, we're basically going off of 1 year here and going off of more his physical traits and his potential than his actual ball production while at Texas Tech and at Louisville. And just like a couple of these other guys, classic gunslinger mentality. Yeah. Sometimes can get him into trouble.
Yeah. I'd just say the injuries. We just gotta watch. But maybe he figures it out, gets with the right guy, and works on that. Strengths
has the physical tools, I think, to be a guy that handles the clipboard for a while, and
could coach,
runs in, could coach. Runs in as like a backup, and
yes,
wears the red hat, does the signals, all that stuff. It's going to take some time for him to develop as it is, and he's already, I think he's 24. Is he 24? I think he's 24. It doesn't say his age, but
that's all right.
Yeah, okay. He's already kind of same recruiting class as Trevor Lawrence. If to give
wow,
all the guy is, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh shit,
It's been in there a while.
Okay.
In there a while.
Yeah.
So again, more relying on those physical gifts.
Oh, hold on a minute here. I just
What's up?
saw the comment. Hey, congratulations there. Even though you're a Giants fan, Stas. Hey, good for you, man. Awesome. I'll call you after. Okay. All right.
Yeah, send him some Steelers gear.
Yeah.
Like 6-month-old Steelers gear. Yeah.
And I'll get you a nice headshot you could put above the crib with Jack Lambert with no teeth in the front. That's good.
That'd be good. That'd be good. Get I don't know what do they call those things that hang over the crib and spin? I don't know what you call those things, but get one of those with like Steelers on it.
Yeah. Oh, carousel thing. I don't know what the hell.
Yeah. I don't know. One of those like self-rocking things too, just with Steelers print on it. Be great. We'll turn him to the dark side.
Yes. Yeah,
only he won't slaughter younglings. He'll just be a fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
Yes, I had to fit in a Star Wars reference there.
Yeah.
Look at the posters behind me. I had to fit in a Star Wars reference. Okay. Actually,
yes.
I don't have a Star Wars poster back there.
No.
They're in my walkway that goes toward my bedroom.
No.
Anyway.
Wow. All right, keep it moving.
Well, when's the last time the Steelers picked third?
Right. Gets and a curse at the same time.
Yeah, correct. But a couple more guys I wanted to toss out here. Jalen Milroe, Alabama, 6'2", 217. A lot of these guys pretty similar size and pretty similar prospect grades, much like Shuck and Dart, close to their prospect grades. Got a 6.14, good backup potential to develop into a starter. Getting comparisons to a Cordell Stewart in terms of his quarterback playing style, not so much his versatility, whether it's playing running back or wide receiver or what have you.
Right.
But yeah, has the mobility, has the arm. It's just, does he have it up here? Same thing with Cordell.
Right.
And then a guy you mentioned earlier, Will Howard, another guy with the physical tools, stands at 6'4", 236. So an ideal height and size for a quarterback. Is graded as an average backup or a special teamer, though. Only got a 5'9". So not particularly great. And the guy he's getting comparisons to, not great either, Blake Bortles.
Jesus.
Yeah.
5.9.
Pretty harsh. Yeah.
Well, the combine.
He had a bad combine, and I get it. He was surrounded by absolute studs at Ohio State that made him look good, but I don't know. You still got to have a guy to get the ball down the field to Jeremiah Smith and Emeka Ibuka.
Correct. Yeah, 5.9. That's rough. Damn.
Yeah, but if this guy wants to get on an NFL roster full time, maybe even develop into a starter, he's going to have to bust ass, per usual.
Yep.
And if he has that mentality that he's indicating, he's going to make X amount of teams regret not picking him, I hope he can carry that into his everyday.
Yes.
But we shall see.
Yep.
Quinn Ewers and Dylan Gabriel, kind of under the radar picks, 7th and 8th ranked overall prospects at the quarterback position, respectively, and a good disparity here between Ewers and Gabriel. 112th overall ranked prospect per ESPN is Ewers, and 205th is Gabriel. So good split there. And I can understand why a lot of people saying, yeah, this quarterback class, it ain't it. And me watching Quinn Ewers at Texas, I think pretty similar to Will Howard.
Yep.
Good arm, good fundamentals, very heady, good leader. Just nothing stands out to me about him as an NFL prospect. Did get a 6.15 prospect grade, though, and got comparisons to Sam Howell of the Seattle Seahawks, who had a good season. With the Commanders at one point. Was at one point the NFL's leading passer through like 3 weeks. Of I think it was 2023 season.
Yep.
But of these last few folks, any of them stand out to you as potential Steelers draftees or potential all pro studs down the line? I didn't know if we were going into that at all, any segments, but I will say this. When I watch Will Howard, he can't move well. He can move a little bit. Mm-hmm. Does remind me of the some guy that used to wear number 7. Had big hands.
could throw the ball.
Long way.
I like big quarterbacks, not big butts. I like big quarterbacks.
Well, you like big butts too, right?
I do like big butts as well, but in this case, I like big quarterbacks in the way
It's just
I want a stocky, big dude that's hard to take down. I don't like the short guys. Like when we drafted Kenny, I said, I bought his jersey. I knew it wasn't going to work out, but in my own mind, I said, if I get his jersey, maybe.
literally you convinced yourself. I think that's the hardest you've ever convinced yourself of something.
That's the hardest
You
thing.
bought his hype, and you bought your own hype that you were feeding into it.
Yes. Yeah, the wife just texted me. You do like it. Yeah, I know. Anyways, but keeping it moving. Wow, I'm gonna get red. Anyways, I'll say this.
Speaking of the wife, can you show where's the Joshy in the background? What is she talking about?
I think he's on the wall right there.
That one? Okay.
Yeah, that's her side. That's the cutoff right there. Okay, keep that. It's over there.
Okay, so the circular shelf thing, that's the cutoff?
That's cutoff right there. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, right before that, that's her little
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha. From that to the I think it's your right, but what I'm seeing it's to the left,
Yeah.
But, yeah.
No, I'll say this.
Unfortunately.
I like I just don't like the short guys. I like the guys that are, around 6'3" and above. They can see over the line, Trevor.
Sure.
That plays a major but that plays a major role, I think, in the game. I want a tall guy that can see over the line. Because if you get guys, our height, you got 6'5" to 6'8" fucking linemen. How are you telling me you're going to see a slant over the middle?
Shorter quarterbacks are anomalies. That's just the way it is.
Russell Wilson's just worked out.
Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, Kyler to an extent getting there. But real quick, did want to share my screen for the folks so they can get one final look at my mock draft here. Let me see if I can do this properly. And then maybe blow it up.
Gotcha, bud.
Real quick. There we go.
I can take this.
Can we see that? Yes.
Just do that real quick. Yep.
Yeah. And excuse the spelling. I didn't have spell check all the way through this, but I'm not obviously going to list all of these off here, but just for posterity and just to evaluate on Thursday when we go through the first round of this year's 2025 NFL draft. Any big surprises here from you? Obviously 1, 2, 3, that might change.
Yeah.
But yeah, any big surprises, any changes that you might make? Would you have the Steelers taking somebody else?
Again, if we were talking Rodgers doing whatever the hell he's doing and we have him signed. But hey, we need Cam's getting old. We talked about it a couple weeks back.
Yeah.
I'm fine with this pick. I'm fine with defensive tackle or quarterback here.
Okay.
We need to do either or. Running back, we can wait till the second or third round.
Yeah.
Or we don't have a second pick, I don't think.
Believe you're correct on that. The Metcalf.
DK Metcalf, yes. So third round. Yep. Ooh, God, it's gonna.
Yeah. That could force our hand here then.
Shit.
And obviously, I made this before that all went down.
I totally forgot about the second round pick, Trevor.
Yeah. I don't know. We could honestly, it might be an incentive to trade back, maybe get 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. But no, I don't see
anybody I'm missing.
I don't think.
No.
I'm seeing all the names that were in everybody's, I think I saw a list of top 50. These guys were all in there.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't disagree with this list at all.
Okay.
I'll probably brainstorm when leading up to the draft night shindig. Maybe just mess around with the top 10, throw some different names in there. But
honestly, I'm gonna do. I think we're just gonna do We'll get on here a little bit before the draft starts. We'll do a live top 10.
Yeah, 7:30 or so. Yeah.
Yeah. And in all likelihood, mine will probably be different than this. Specifically these top 3.
Yeah.
Just because, shit's fluctuated and changed every which way.
Yep.
But like I said, such is life when you're doing this over the course of.
It was a hell of a. It was a hell of a journey, a hell of a job. Very informative. And I think why I get so excited. Yes, and I am an emotional little bitch. But
very much
every time after draft night, since we started it, it's it's awesome. It's a good time. It's a lot of excitement, and you put in a lot of work on these graphs and investigating. And then, like right after this, I'll go watch some film and then get on with the boys. But try to be informative a little bit. Yes, we don't have the $1,000 suits on, but gotta know a couple things.
Actually, this blazer,
Trevor might have $1,000.
I didn't even.
You don't need that.
This was a gift.
Yeah, it looks good though. I love it.
Most expensive suit I have is, I think, a couple $100.
You don't need that. Yeah, you don't need that.
I have like 3 suits. I'd never wear them. I don't. Weddings and funerals, which I haven't been to a wedding in 2 years. Coming up on 2 years, I believe. Yeah. No. I was at one last year. My cousin, my little cousin, actually got married, and she just had her second kid. So,
yeah. All right.
Well, I think it was like 3 or 4 months ago, but still.
Celebration of life, baby. Let's do it. Anyway, no. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It was very informative, but I know it's going to get a lot more spicier. So don't close the app. Don't close the window or shut it off your TV and watch the 700 Club. Stay here with us, okay? But anyways,
what do we move? The 700 Club?
Oh, they still do it. It's still on there. I know.
Does anybody our age watch the 700 Club?
They might. Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, Vanna White.
Yeah. Well,
pleasure to look at.
Right.
I can say that you can't.
Yes. But are we? We're going over to. Yes.
What's more likely? Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, please.
WrestleMania.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
you are Dynamo.
Yes,
on top of things, my friend.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you paid attention to what was it? We did this on. I think it was on Friday that we did our picks.
Yes. Very exciting times. Yes.
Did a nice little pop-up show dedicated to WrestleMania, as we could not live stream WrestleMania. Had Easter familial obligations. Easter weekend, I myself had 3 Easter dinners, all of them with ham. And needless to say, I will probably not be eating ham for the next 3 to 4 to 7 months. But anyway, on that night, we made our selections for WrestleMania, and there was a lot of surprises, a lot of twists and turns. As I said before, probably not as good as the WrestleMania last year, but still did pretty well. I think it did pretty well. There were some high points, some low points. A very, very weird ending with the likes of Travis Scott. It was kind of weird. But anyway, going through our picks here.
Yes.
And I won both nights.
Yes. He was on.
I only missed 2 picks over the weekend. And again, I will share my screen with the fine folks.
Yep.
Get back to it, and bada boom. I'll go zoom in. Okay. So night 1, and again, these aren't in match order. I didn't adjust for this. But show led off with Jey Uso beating Gunther for the World Heavyweight title. Both had that peg. That was very nice. I honestly forget what match was next, but I think it was either Jade and Naomi, or it was Ray and actually wasn't Ray. It turned out to be a different Ray Fenix, because later that night on Friday Night SmackDown, Rey Mysterio suffering a groin injury that kept him out of night 1 of WrestleMania.
So pissed.
Yeah. I assume your pick would have been the same, so I left it as Ray. You still would have got it wrong. El Grande Americano in his WrestleMania debut, no less.
Yep.
Got the W. Got the W. So good for El Grande, one of the greatest luchadors ever, and the greatest luchador to come out of the Gulf of America. Jade Cargill over Naomi. That was a long time coming. Nice little rivalry there. Naomi's presentation was excellent.
Yep.
Any thoughts? As we're going through these, any thoughts on these matches? If you want to give out grades, you can give that out. Or
I would say again,
Taylor.
Well,
We don't know it's Chad Gable. Chad Gable and El Grande and Americano. They were in the same room, remember? Saying.
Her and Michael Cole. But I'll say, listen, and if you're a hardcore WWE fan, again, I've stated it before whenever we have these discussions, came back into the game last year at this time. So I took a 15-year hiatus. So I'm back in it. But I'll say this. I really thought, just based off the storyline, Triple H is fucking killing it. Okay. The Rock, the whole director crew. I just thought the triple threat with Rollins, Reigns, and Punk, that should have been second night. Should have been second night. I know because of the story. Yeah. The story. And also, caveat to that, I wanted the final boss to appear instead of Travis Scott, but I can't have everything.
Yeah. I know. Well, get into night 2 in a minute here. But, I guess I'll just run through the rest of the picks. U.S. title, we differed on that one. I had Fatu winning, which he got a well-deserved singles title in WWE. He's been white hot, and his presentation's been phenomenal since he got on the main roster, and it's been, it's good. And now, maybe he takes over the new bloodline. We'll see what he does. New Day did win. New Day did win the tag titles. None of us had that. Honestly, that one was kind of, I hate to call that one the piss break match because it was the New Day, and the New Day is obviously most legendary tag team of our era, but that kind of was the piss break match.
Yep.
Tiffy and Charlotte Flair, another huge rivalry culminating in a WrestleMania match. Both had Tiffy. Good to go there. And then obviously the main event, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Roman Reigns. I called it.
Yes. So hard to watch.
I'm not normally a guy to say I told you so, but I told you so.
Yes. Just to backtrack.
You unfortunately went 3 for 7. I went 6 for 7.
I thought with my heart.
In the words of the people, when Kurt Angle makes his entrance, you suck.
Yes.
You suck.
Yeah. It was. I went with my heart. And that's,
I understand that.
And the problem is you got to look at all the variables and hopefully next year when we do this, we have a better read. But I'll tell you this: Tiffy Stratton and Charlotte, what a match!
Great match.
I know people have their opinion of Flair. Tiffy needed to get her teeth fixed in the back. I don't know if everybody got that report.
No, that was just blood.
Oh,
that was
okay.
Just blood.
Okay.
She confirmed that she didn't lose nor chip a tooth. She was,
okay. I mean,
blood that came up.
It looks fucking bad.
It looked gnarly. It was just blood on the wrong spot. That's all it was.
Okay.
That's all it was. And her entrance too. That Barbie doll Dorothy.
Good.
I popped for that. That was nice.
Where is she? Where is she at? Wait.
She's the middle one.
Yeah. It was good.
Yeah, no, that was cool. No. That was cool. And reactions to the main event.
Paul Heyman,
dirty son of a bitch.
I'm trying to remember what the hell his nickname was back in the day. Oh, shit.
Paulie Dangerously.
Yeah, Paul. Yeah, he lived up to that. He was doing his thing out there. Paulrus. I'll say this: it's hot. I really wanted Punk, but just the developing, they're going back, all going at it, or they start off the match. They're all Roman Reigns and Seth are going at it. Punk says "fuck this," rolls out, and then you get all the turns of Reigns jumping over the barricade, Superman punt. Like, there's so many. And then the tables, Trevor, like, it was hard to keep up with what
those are the hard tables.
No. Right.
That's what's gnarly about it. Oh, the spot with Roman Reigns where they tease the Shield thing, and he's just like, no, fuck you both. I'm just going to powerbomb you both through these metal tables. And he did.
And then, the finish, it was like, wow. Like, I don't know if they'll ever get to that point, but Grammy Award winning fucking script writing here. I mean, holy shit.
It was good. It was good.
Yeah, it was very good. But that's just my feeling. I knew they were going to, Reigns wasn't going to win. But
he's had enough main event wins, WrestleMania. Yeah. And good showing, of course, as always. But
yeah. And I think Seth's the following he has. I mean, Jesus, every time he comes out, whoa, Heyman, it was good. I'm excited to be back in it. It was a good fucking time. A lot of emotions, but
damn, absolutely, my friend.
Yeah.
Then let's get on to night 2. Just running down the match list here. We both had Logan Paul winning. You did better on night 2. You went 4-3 on night 2.
Yeah.
McIntyre beating Priest in a Sin City street fight, which more than lived up to the hype. That was an excellent match. And speaking of matches that lived up to the hype and then some, the opener of night 2, Io Sky defending her championship against Bianca Belair and Rhea Bloody Ripley. Excellent showing by all 3 women, and both of these triple threat matches too. Not one where a competitor would roll out of the ring for 5 minutes and then the other 2 girls would fight or the other 2 guys would fight. All of them were very active. Boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
The whole freaking match, both of them, and including this one too. So more triple threat matches at Mania, please, please make it happen. Unfortunately, we did have Liv and Raquel retaining their tag team titles, but of course, we didn't have the man returning. We didn't have that. Bayley got hurt on Saturday. Attacker's a mystery. Monday Night Raw might have revealed who that attacker was.
Yes.
But the man returns. Mega pop. I popped within my own house, about blew the roof off my own house when I saw the man come out. And then, of course, I knew who was winning then. So if I would have had that information,
correct,
probably would have both got that right.
Correct.
But then, of course, last night, Lariat's pin, Liv and Raquel become 4-time WWE Women's Tag Team Champions.
Yep.
And the man is a heel again, along with her husband.
Yeah.
So nice little turn of events there. There's a hell of a match for you, too. Breaker, Penta, Balor, and Dominic Mysterio. Nobody, and I mean nobody, had Dirty Dom getting his first title win at WrestleMania.
No.
Never crossed my mind.
No.
Never. Good for him. Guy has worked his ass off to be the most hated heel in the company. Won Villain of the Year, Slammy Award. And now he has a singles title. Bringing gold back to the Judgment Day.
Yep.
And probably going to make Finn Balor turn on him at some point. But that's beside the point. Braun Breaker with another excellent spear. Ran off of one announce table onto another. Speared Carlito through it. Probably broke his ribs. Absolutely nuts match. Penta with a good showing. Honestly, Balor too. Balor put in a pretty good performance.
Yep. Dom will always be to me Ray's bastard son, but I'm proud of him.
No. He's already, the GOAT said it himself. He's going to be the greatest Mysterio.
Yeah. But no, he's living this spotlight, and I like how he pays homage to Eddie. That's probably the coolest thing when he does some of his moves. I like that he does 619. And then he did the frog splash, and it's just
perfectly timed to all that whole sequence, just perfect timing.
But when he gets up and he does this shit, and Liv does it too, it's like it takes me back to low riding days. But no, Dom, he deserved it. Every arena he gets booed and he can't even talk. Then he starts swearing in Spanish or whatever the hell he says. And
and then he literally got a mega pop from the Vegas crowd for winning the title. Like they just flipped. Like
And
Is there a
Penta was
face
the
turn
guy.
coming, or is the crowd just gonna like cheer for him now? Is it?
Yeah.
As much as like they're still like face and heel turns, but they're not nearly as pronounced. The crowd just kind of cheers for this person and not this person, and
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting enough.
Yeah.
Before we get to the main event, because I know you're gonna have your thoughts on that.
Oh boy,
Randy Orton. Randall Keith Orton. I know you had your thoughts on Joe Hendry coming out, TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Did have an appearance at the Rumble as well, and obviously has that uber viral theme song, I Believe in Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
Wave your hands.
Oh, yeah, that's shit.
Really tells you what to do. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
I believe in Joe Hendry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do we think of him getting an appearance at WrestleMania? Kind of might have been the first time an active TNA superstar has ever appeared at WrestleMania, to my knowledge.
Like I told you, I was pissed off at the start, but then I kind of realized Randy was giving him a chance. And I think I told you too that the pat on the chest when he was walking out, it was just probably a cool moment for him. I mean, you work your ass off. You're at the lower, and I don't want to say lower tier, but lower tier TNA.
Yeah.
And you get to go to the mega top of the game event.
Shows. And showcase the immortals.
And face a juggernaut like Randy fucking Orton. Are you kidding me? Who wouldn't sign up for that? So good for him. But yeah, Randy definitely got the viral moment when he's smiling and he turns around.
He did the turnaround. And then
the Viper comes out of nowhere,
running wild with it. It's a good time.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Yeah. I felt better as the match went on because I was like, okay, there's this guy.
Hendry, he had some offense in there. Not a ton, but on short notice.
Yeah, I think he did good. A lot of nerves there. A lot of nerves.
Yeah. And obviously another mega pop from the crowd. The people they love Joe Hendry.
They love it.
They love Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
And Triple H himself told him, like, hey, enjoy it. This is only the first. They only get tougher from here because he will be back.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be back. Main event, WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes, John Cena. I have my thoughts on the match, and I have my thoughts on the ending. So I will let you go first. You got this pick wrong, by the way. You picked the...
Yeah. So just to get everybody in my mind with this situation, I loved Cena when I was a kid. I loved Ray, but I loved John Cena. I loved them. The George, Thugonomics, Taylor's doing the puking emojis. Love it. But then he comes back. He's went Hollywood. I felt a little bit, and then I was like, "Fuck!" And then I got out of it, and then I came back, and he went heel. It's like, whoa, holy shit! Like I don't know how to feel right now, Trevor. And then
how do you think I felt?
I'm
still watching the product.
Yeah, you've been there for all the years, and then I fell in love with Cody. Because I loved Dusty when he would, be in whatever product or program. And then it was just interesting. But my reaction, I was pissed. I was fucking pissed at the ending. But the story, now we're seeing Monday Night Raw last night helped me kind of figure out, okay, now I get what's going on now. If I would have known a little nugget of that, I think my reaction would have been a little softer.
Again, did I not call it?
Yeah.
Did not, it's in St. Louis, and Orton comes out of nowhere. I jump out of my seat because he hits an RKO on John Cena for the first time in a decade plus.
Yeah. But no, it's the quote that bothered me. I'm going to ruin wrestling. I was like, okay, now where the fuck is this? Like, wait, all right, dude. Like, where are we? Whatever. It was good. Triple H.
I mean, did he or did he not accomplish his goal of ruining wrestling? Or is he on the way to doing that? Because I will say this. The match wasn't great. Obviously, Cena's a little, he's a little step slower than what he used to be.
Yeah.
And just the convoluted ending without The Rock, with Travis Scott. And Travis Scott took 10 fucking years to get to the ring, by the way.
Took his time.
And his lights are flashing and Cena's smiling. And he literally has to sit there for 10 minutes while he's sauntering down to the ring. Just like taking a sweet ass time. I mean, yeah, I know they say in wrestling go slow, but not that fucking slow.
Yeah.
Anyway. And then, of course, just the concept of Travis Scott, a rapper, and a not active WWE guy or competitor or front office person or anything like that, not involved in WWE much at all, deciding the main event of WrestleMania.
Bothered me a little bit. But I will
the
say
match itself wasn't, for what Cena could do, wasn't bad, told a decent story. And honestly, it was literally just bare bones John Cena. He said he was going to ruin wrestling. I think that's kind of what he was doing within that match.
When he came out to all black and just his name, I go, holy shit.
No, yeah.
There's something coming here, Trevor.
Psychology here, brother. Psychology.
There's a fucking storm. But I'll say this. I don't know if we're going to have any thoughts, but I'll just the whole script here. And if you are, I'm going to say the forbidden name right now in the corporation or business. Vince McMahon could never have this kind of script like Triple H has been putting together.
Yeah.
I will make that clear right now. This product is so hot. You got people that have no idea who the hell some of these guys. They're just watching it, Trevor, just because it's so hot right now. I mean, it's
Triple H said it himself too. Like they would get celebrities, they would have to reach out to them, and they would usually kind of be on the downside of their career or the downside of being in the spotlight. Now you got celebrities reaching out to them because they want to be seen on the product. Like Fluffy, Gabriel Iglesias is like at every freaking WWE show now.
Yep.
It's kind
George
of
Kittle.
George.
He was there.
George Kittle.
Slugging beers with the broadcast.
Big WWE guy, George Kittle.
Yeah.
Might not be a big San Francisco guy much longer. We'll talk about that here in a minute.
Yes.
Some negotiations going on there. He's not attending voluntary workouts.
Correct.
But yeah. Any closing thoughts on WrestleMania as a whole, and any like grade or rating that you want to give it?
Women's wrestling is at all-time high.
Amen.
And again, I know, and we talked about this. I hate when people say when they see a match, "Oh, that was the greatest match I've ever seen." That women's triple threat, hands down, was
match of the night, potentially match of the Mania.
Yes. And I'm just happy to see those women get the opportunity to show their talents, because Io Sky, whatever your feeling is on her, Rhea or Bianca, they're fucking alphas. Okay. They're good. They're good, man. And it's entertaining every time. Every time. But that's just my ending thoughts. Grading. What do you want to do?
If you want to do like a letter. Yeah.
A letter.
Because it had its moments. It was good. It was good, but it wasn't like 40 was, Like 40 just kind of felt different. Felt a little bit more monumental.
Maybe a C plus.
C plus. I was thinking like a B minus, somewhere
maybe
in that neighborhood. Yeah. Maybe being nice. Just, I mean, the main event weighs a lot on that too.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of the convoluted ending with that, and just kind of the match itself wasn't particularly great. If you switch the night 1 and night 2 main events, maybe you leave a little bit better of a taste in people's mouths, but I get why they had to do what they had to do.
But the whole time watching it, I was like, "Yo, just fucking doing this shit, Trevor." Just my head was spinning like a mother.
She's great. She's awesome. She might be my favorite women's wrestler right now, besides Rhea Ripley.
It's entertaining.
Rhea's Rhea, but
yeah.
She's very good as well. Very good in the solo. As a solo competitor as well. Was kind of stuck in Damage Control for a little while, and now is really, really breaking out as a single star.
Yeah.
So good for her.
Good shit.
Good for her.
Yeah.
I think we got time for our segments here. We're at 1:45 already.
We're good. Hey, I know this is going to be long. I'm ready, man. But you go to.
It's going to be long on Thursday too.
But eat or no eat?
Gonna be. What's more likely?
Oh, what's more likely? Okay.
Yeah. We'll try and run through those fairly quickly.
Yep. That's all right. What's more likely with Trevor Dinsmore?
Thank you, good sir.
Yeah.
Diving right in. Going back to football,
Yep.
a couple teams coming out, two of the top three teams actually, Browns and Giants, saying that they could be shopping picks.
Yep.
According to multiple sources within the NFL. So most likely between those two to trade out of their respective pick, Browns or Giants. Browns are at 2, Giants are at 3.
I'll have to go Giants.
I was thinking the Giants as well.
Yeah. And the reason, caveat to that, GM, I don't know how he has a job.
I mean, you use the EO thing.
Yeah. And I think they do it.
Kind of that.
They do it, and it fails miserably, and I think he loses his job.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not calling for heads here, but that's
no, me either. But this, I mean, you let Barkley go, then you potentially Travis Hunter, Cam Ward, or let's just be Abdul Carter, and you fuck up again. I don't know how many.
Yeah. I wonder if they take Shedeur at that spot. They take Shedeur at that spot, and that fails.
That's a Dable kind of guy.
I know.
I got Tyrod in Buffalo. Yeah.
Might be clean and chop in a couple of years if that's.
Yeah, you betcha.
We'll see. 2 primetime defenders on NFL rosters that are looking to renew their contracts. Coming up on the last year, both of their respective deals are Micah Parsons and Trey Hendrickson. Both inexplicably don't have an extension signed yet. And Jerry Jones did come out and say yesterday, sometime, Cowboys are working on, and I quote, substantive trades. Whatever that means, I don't know. But anyway, more likely to be traded on draft day, Micah Parsons or Trey Hendrickson?
I think Trey.
Think so? Think the Browns are not the Browns. The Bengals are that stupid?
They're the way their owner or president, whatever the hell she is, was talking about him. Why would you want to stay? I know I don't want to rehash too much, but I mean, what I said 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I think they trade him. I do.
Okay.
I don't think they have the money, or they want to give the money. Rather, that's what I would say. Micah, he's fallen P's and Q's to Jerry, and I think they get the deal done.
I would think so as well.
Yep.
And this could just be smoke and mirrors from Jerry Jones, per the usual. And if they do make a trade, I doubt it's going to involve Micah Parsons.
Yeah,
I mean, that's your best player.
They do that.
You're not like Dallas. Dallas already pulled off the Luka trade. Imagine if they trade Parsons too. I think that city would burn to the fucking ground. Trading 2 superstars within the same 3 or 4 month time period. It'd be nuts.
It'd be a Cowboys thing to do.
I'd like to see it just because that city's just going to explode.
Yeah.
AT&T's no longer going to exist because they're going to do what we threatened to do to PNC Park. Whatever their food of choice is down there, they're going to get the grease from that and just light a match and let it ride, man.
You're going to get buckets from the barbecue pits and just throw it out.
Ooh, yeah, Texas barbecue. I don't know if that's as flammable as
I don't know.
Fry grease, but regardless. Team to have more passing touchdowns in 2025. The Indianapolis Colts or the Tennessee Titans?
Wow.
Colts, you got the Richardson, Daniel Jones competition, and Titans potentially a new quarterback.
I'm going to say the Colts, and I forget that rookie wide receiver they got.
Downs.
They got Downs Donnie Mitchell.
Yep.
And then if they get Tyler Warren,
Yeah,
I
hope,
hope,
you're right.
I hope you produce something.
Right. Just chuck it up to him.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Kyler Warren's down there somewhere.
Yeah, I don't see the Titans having any offensive weapons. They got Tajay Spears. I don't know their wide receivers. Couldn't tell you.
I don't know them either.
I have no clue.
I don't. All I know is, like, I think Cam Ward complimented them on being one of the best wide receiver rooms in the league, which is just a flat out lie.
No.
It's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
But anyway, I do want to bring up the Titans wide receiver room, just so we can make fun of it a little more. Just a little more. That's all. Let's see here. Depth chart. Calvin Ridley's their lead receiver. They got Burks and Van Jefferson.
Wow. I mean, there's years there. There's NFL experience, but I don't know about playmaking. Wow.
No.
Traffic cones down in Tennessee now. Hell yeah. Good job, buddy.
Yep.
Good for you.
They do have a good tight end, though. Chigo Okonkwo, I think, is severely underrated and underutilized.
And Ridley's had such a big head on him. Jesus.
I know. He's like the George Pickens of the AFC South.
Yes.
It's not good. Yep. Transitioning over to basketball, NBA playoffs underway, and two games that I don't believe are happening tonight or are happening later tonight. Actually, let me kind of take a look at those scores right now. Pacers did beat the Bucks, by the way. They're up 2-0 on the Bucks.
Very nice. That's
right. Timberwolves and Lakers are actually tipping off as we speak, so we'll get this question answered real quick. More likely outcome for the Western Conference underdog. Warriors in 5. It's at plus 360. They're facing the Rockets, and they're leading 1-0 right now. I believe they play tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow, 9:30 TNT in Houston. And then playing tonight are the Timberwolves and Lakers. Other option is Timberwolves in 6 at plus 340. Warriors in 5 at plus 360, if I didn't say that.
Timberwolves plus 360. Ooh.
At Timberwolves in 6.
6.
Timberwolves, let me reiterate.
Yeah.
Timberwolves in 6 plus 340. Warriors in 5 plus 360.
Well, yeah, I'm going to have to probably go with the Warriors. But the Lakers aren't going to win that series.
No, you don't think so?
No, I have no belief in that team. I don't even watch that.
They just overconfident, like no depth. What's the issue here? Too reliant on their new superstar.
I think something's going to go to the wayside, and Luka's going to have to fucking carry it, and LeBron's going to come up with some injury or some bullshit, and then Genie's going to be up there like, oh, everything's fine.
Yeah. Didn't they just sign that Pelinka to an extension?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw that. I did see that.
King. Go ahead. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
I will never forgive him when he took the spotlight at the celebration of Kobe's life. I will never. He cut off Pau Gasol to go up there. They basically gave and Rob's like, oh, fuck you. Fuck Rob Pelinka.
Yeah.
Leach. Leave it at that. But all? I think.
Is that all?
Yeah, I can't stand Pelinka. I'm not a fan.
Okay.
Leach.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So your pick is Warriors, but you don't have faith in the Lakers either.
No, at all. No.
Okay. Okay. I got you. I can understand that. Like I said, I think the Rockets are kind of a flash in the pan, kind of a weirdly constructed team that had a really, really good season. Reminds me of, say, the 0-1 Mariners, who had one of the all-time great seasons and crapped out in the playoffs.
Yep.
This could be a case where that happens with the Rockets, and obviously the Warriors, infinitely more playoff experience than is on that Rockets roster. So I'll take the Warriors as well.
Okay.
More likely scenario to not happen. So careful phrasing there. To not happen. Cooper Flagg does not get drafted first overall. in the 2025 draft, or somehow 3 Duke players are not taken in the lottery. So either Cooper Flagg falls out of first, or the 3 Duke players I'm referring to, obviously Cooper Flagg, Kaman Mulak, and Kon Knupel. I think that's how you pronounce those names. Probably butchered them, but
I'll go with Cooper Flagg.
Cooper Flagg falls out of first?
Yeah.
Who gets drafted first? Do you know?
I have no idea, but I'm worried about that injury.
Okay. Yeah, didn't keep him out of the tournament, but
Did not keep him out. I don't know. I'm trying to think of other prospects right now, and they're not.
You got that Trey Johnson out of Texas, Dylan Harper from Rutgers, Derek Queen out of Maryland is projected top 10, Jeremiah Fears out of Oklahoma, Kasparis Jakusionis, Illinois.
Okay.
Ace Bailey, also out of Rutgers, VJ Edgecombe at Baylor.
Okay.
And then Liam McNeely out of UConn, of course.
I just see someone passing over him, like a Jordan situation for some reason. I don't know why.
That would be very strange.
It would be strange.
I'd like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't like it either, but I feel like I don't know if he's gonna go
like
first.
I'll say the Duke.
Okay.
Somehow Knupel and Malawak. I think I pronounce it, but some way one of those two falls out of that. I think that's more likely. I don't think either is going to happen.
Right.
But if one of those would happen, I think it would be one of those players falling out of a lottery's position.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's it for what's more likely. We're going to actually keep the yeet or no yeet segment for, I don't know, probably forever. It's probably going to be permanently yeet or no yeet. Yeah. But at least for the time that Jey Uso's world heavyweight champion, we're going to keep this segment what it is. Yeah. But anyway, yeet or no yeet?
Hell yeah. Okay, the cutscene went longer. All right. Whatever. Eat or no eat with Trevor.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sticking with NBA, Pat McAfee this past week on his world-renowned podcast had an unexpected guest, one that you normally don't associate with the Pat McAfee show. He had Adam Silver on. Yes. Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, to talk about anything and everything NBA playoffs, the evolution of how NBA is marketed and how it's presented on TV and through streaming platforms, all that good stuff. Adam Silver goes into great detail. Very, very smart individual, very marketing oriented, and knows how to present the league in a very, very positive light, even though some of the players might try and ruin that. John Morant. Yes.
Right.
But yeet or no yeet, Pat McAfee, if he presents more NBA content on his Pat McAfee show going forward.
Oh, yeet.
You with that? You like that? Mm-hmm. You like that? Okay. I know he's primarily football, and he has a segment called Hockey is Awesome, which I imagine doing good ratings now that playoff hockey is around. Best time of year for hockey.
Yep.
Yeah, expanding into the NBA, maybe him becoming an NBA guy.
Yeah, I'd be okay if he kept the alien off the screen, but yeah.
What's wrong with the alien? Well, who do you want? Do you want the players on there? Then you want LeBron?
I like LeBron. That was fucking cool.
That was actually insightful. I did enjoy it. Yeah.
I'm just kidding on Silver. Silver, I think gets a bad rep. I think this is a hard time.
He gets a bad rep for you because he looks like an alien, apparently.
But he just creeps me the fuck out. And I got to say this, and this is big on me and Trevor. And we try to make sure when we talk, there's not an interference. Like it matches up. The NBA, if you watch that clip back, his mouth is off with his words. Like the connection with them.
It's off with the sound, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that just
thing, yeah.
I just was like, it was a bad representation. I'm like, shit. I mean, you guys, This is the fucking head of your
Tech
league, and you,
issues. Tech
Huh?
issues. It's
but
tech
still,
issues.
someone
Like,
should have came in there, Trevor. Like shit.
well, you're in mid-segment and try and fix
Right.
it. No, come on.
I know. Hopefully, they do better next time. But no, LeBron. If he got Michael Jordan somehow, that would be
That'd be
cool.
nutty. That'd be nutty.
Magic, like
Mhm.
I'd like to see some throwback players. Some players that would be cool. Sean Kemp.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
It's a random ass poll. I like
I know.
it, but it's a random ass poll. Sean
Yeah.
Kemp. Oh,
Yeah.
Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, and Sean Kemp.
Yeah, I could hear about his life a little bit.
Sean Kemp, but
Oh yeah, Larry Bird, Indiana.
Detlef Shrimp while we're at it.
One of the
Well,
best
Indiana
European
guy, Detlef Shrimp.
shrimp. Birds right there.
Oh,
I
right.
think
Indiana
I'm
State.
shocked by
Mhm,
that.
mhm.
I'm shocked by he hasn't been on, but I like Halliburton coming on. That's cool. I like that connection.
Oh yeah, big fan of the program. Big WWE guy too.
Yep.
Big WWE
The
guy.
X shoes, that was badass.
Oh, love that. Absolutely love that.
But I'll leave it at
Got you. Yeah, eat for me as well. Moving back to the NFL real quick, talking about the Steelers quarterback situation as promised. So if you stuck around this long, congratulations. You've suffered through 2 hours with us. Well, not suffered. You've had a hell of a time with us. Let's be real. And not the app. Let's be honest with each other. The Steelers should abandon the whole Aaron Rodgers situation and trade for a man who unexpectedly reported to voluntary workouts today, Kirk Cousins. And potentially still draft one.
E.
You like that?
I like that.
You like that?
I like it a lot.
Okay.
A lot.
What if I tossed in the caveat that we'd probably have to pay him half of his $40 million?
Yep.
Still good
Sign
with
me
it?
up. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'm at a mild. I'm not at a big one, but mild. Yeah.
God, could you imagine Kirk Cousins win the Super Bowl in the Pittsburgh Steelers uniform? Oh,
You getting your hopes up again?
oh,
I think you're getting your hopes up again.
I might get a jersey.
Another quarterback. Get off of quarterbacks, please.
I was going to buy a Pickens jersey too. That was
Oh God.
put.
Metcalf won. He signed for 5 years.
I'm going to probably get Metcalf. I got TJ Metcalf.
Honestly, I might as well. We'll see.
Yeah.
Last time I got a Steelers wide receivers jersey, he left us after 2 years. But it's fine.
Yeah. But I like Kirk. Mm-hmm.
I do like Kirkers. Good representative of organizations too. Very stand-up guy. I mean, I know there's the whole trope with, oh, I'm going to retire here. Oh, I'm going to retire here.
Yep.
If that's the only thing you really have against the guy, he's got to be pretty good with the media and pretty good with people, you know?
And what he would bring to the community of Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot.
Put him in a Steelers chain, bro. I'm just saying.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
I love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Make sure he wears those chains in his entrance. I think that'd be cool. You know, Ben has the whole "I love you" thing. Give Kirko the chains. Give Kirko the chains for him.
Oh yeah.
Give him his entrance for that. Moving into wrestling and talking a lot about, I would say, one of the better Raws after WrestleMania in a long time. I know it didn't get a whole lot of crowd reaction. The crowd was worn out. Like 2 nights of WrestleMania and then Raw. I get it. I was worn out too. Wrestling fatigue is real.
Oh, yeah.
Too much of a good thing is exhausting.
Yes.
But it was still fun. And one of the shocking moments in this Raw after WrestleMania came at the very conclusion when the newest potential Paul Heyman guy revealed himself. The dogs were not barking for this one. It was Braun Breaker.
Yeah. Spearing
Roman out of his boots.
Yep.
And then spearing pretty much everything in sight.
Yes.
Yeet or no yeet. Braun Breaker as a Paul Heyman guy.
So does WWE Soul.
Yeah,
but I do like it. I'll go yeet.
You like it? Okay.
I'm
we're
getting
at consistent yeets here.
I'm getting glimpse of Brock Lesnar when Heyman.
Next big thing vibes. That's kind of what I got.
Yes.
Too. Like,
yep.
Like this guy's been grinding on the main roster for a couple years now. Won singles championships. Did lose his IC title at Mania, but is still an absolute badass.
Yes. Now I'll say this, and this is probably not going to happen, but in hindsight, if they go for the tag team titles, I'm going to tell you that tag team, it's a fucking problem.
I think there's more to come.
Yeah.
I think there's more to come.
Yeah.
Becky turned heel.
Yep.
Power couple.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman, Becky Lynch.
The man. Yep.
The man and the Walrus.
God.
I'd like it. I'd like that a lot.
Oh, better have those suits crisp because it's going to be a lot of shit going down.
Nah, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
I got you.
Yep.
Then last one for yeet or no yeet here. Lay it on the line for you. We talked about the result earlier and made his first entrance and actually first successful title defense against Penta.
Yep.
Dominic Mysterio, Intercontinental Champion, and the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. Just 2 days into his reign.
Yeah. Oh, what do I agree with that?
It's the yeet or no yeet. Are you on board with that? What you?
Well, I think so just to take you on memory lane here, I do remember someone did win their first title, and that first title was who? Or who won the same title for their first time being champion? That's
Rey Mysterio.
No, Eddie.
Eddie.
Eddie won the Intercon. That was so. I see. That's why I'm okay with it. But I hate that fucking guy. I love how.
You know what that means? He's doing his job.
But just his mission to kind of, you can tell with the how the hair is. If you look at the hair, how his hair is, Eddie.
Yes.
There's just, I just appreciate that homage. You can't hate that. And going back to the custody battle, you tell me way back when. I mean, I know we were kids, Trevor, but you see that, and then you tell me this guy's going to be a superstar someday. Wow.
I mean, just saying too. Dom was wearing the Eddie shirt at the post show.
I mean, I loved it. Mm-hmm. And he's like, and he showed it. I was like, that's awesome. Latino hate, buddy. Mm-hmm. Probably the best controversial storyline of all time. I think everybody could maybe agree. The custody.
Yeah, I wasn't into WWE yet, so I can't really give too much of an opinion on it.
My dad.
I know it was dicey. It was very
When I was watching hardcore, I was watching TNA, I was watching SmackDown Raw. My dad said to my mom, "You think he should be watching this? This is really like because it went custody battle. It went to a dark place. That fucking playground scene. I mean, it was dark.
I bet, my friend.
It fucked with my head. Like, wait, hold on, is Eddie his dad? Or and then I'm looking at the faces. I'm like, oh shit. Thinking back,
I don't know. Maybe his mom. Maybe I don't know. It's just like, or maybe it's just the wrestling gods bestowing the spirit of Eddie.
I'll tell you right now, if Dom starts coming out on lowriders, you'll see me buy a Dirty Dom shirt. I will buy a Dirty.
I might buy one right now. I might. I mean, Christ, he's getting Euro chants now. That's awesome. Dirty Dom. I mean, God. I love it.
It's amazing.
I know.
Fucking
and
3 weeks
nothing
ago.
to do that. It's just the crowd.
3 weeks ago, comes out, can't say a fucking word. Now he's the shit. It's amazing to me.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing.
Yep. Good shit.
That is all I had for yeet or no yeet. We'll run through on a scale of 1 to 10. Are they fucked?
Hell yeah.
Another pretty shocking moment from last night's Raw. One involving the man who lost his World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania to Jey Uso.
Yep.
And surprising, it did it during a commercial too. Jey comes out, does the celebration. Sami Zayn comes out. Jimmy Uso comes out. And it's all lovey-dovey, feel good. And then we go from that to commercial, and then we come back. And who's berating the announce team but Gunther?
Yeah.
And eventually lays his hands on Michael Cole, flips his headset off and threatens to put him in a chokehold. Then who comes to his rescue? Well, actually did shove Pat McAfee initially after he tried to intervene and, make it back up. You saw the situation. And then long story short, Pat McAfee gets choked out by Gunther.
Yeah.
And then obviously was still able to do a show today, thank God. Got the medical treatment that he needed, got the support from the boys, and was able to get through a wonderful program today. So we do appreciate his efforts for that. But before I say my piece and present the on a scale of 1 to 10, are they fucked? I have some business to attend to.
Oh, very nice.
I know Gunther, you already are on this Buckle Up with the Boys shit list right here. He's going on there again.
Two-time motherfucker.
You assaulted Jimmy Uso, made him a bloody heap, and then you choked out one of my favorite people on planet Earth who was doing his job.
Yep.
Gunther, you are on my shit list. And I tell you, going on the Buckle Up with the Boys yeet list, a man who is learning how to do a dab correctly, learning how to do the yeet correctly, and who said, and I quote, "I'm not going to let a bully dictate how I do my job." Walked out to the ring to a mega pop and got a Euro chant from the crowd. Euro chants are running wild in America right now. Michael Cole, you're on the Buckle Up with the Boys yeet list.
Hell yeah.
Credit to you, Michael Cole, for continuing your fine efforts in relief of Pat McAfee and dealing with all of that emotionally in kayfabe, of course, but still very cool and a very nice little lesson for the youngsters that were watching as well. So very good stuff. Very good stuff. But anyway, Gunther for what he did to the announce team on a scale of 1 to 10.
He's a fucking
piece of shit.
11, 12.
Yeah. 14 million and 7.
Joe Tesstor came in, did a hell of a job. Way to get in there.
Yeah,
kept it moving.
He's ESPN guy, so he knows what he's doing.
Ty Schmidt got rocked by the security guard. I don't know.
Saw that. Because he almost got to Gunther.
He did.
He came in hot, and then he got thrown back.
And he looked crisp in that fucking WrestleMania 41 gold jacket. I'm not going to lie to you. Very nice purchase, Ty Schmidt. Stitching and all. But I'd love to see McAfee somehow get intertwined in here. I want to see maybe a cheap shot backstage. Oh. Yeah.
He's done matches before. I mean, Backlash is an appropriately named pay-per-view for this sort of thing.
There's something popped in my head, but I don't think it'll happen. I don't think he'll come back. Stone Cold comes to but no, I could see. I want to see more to this. I don't want it to die. There's so much fucking buildup around it because of his podcast and Gunther's hate right now. You got to do something next week. We have to, but I don't know what it is. I don't know. Yeah, but
I don't know. Maybe
got me going.
Gunther wrestles a match, and
I mean, I'm up on the couch.
Or his music just plays or whatever, I don't know.
But it doesn't. I think people can tell. It doesn't take me a lot to get fired up. But I was up. I stood up right from the couch. I said, "Fuck that guy. Fuck you."
Oh yeah.
When he put him in the chokehold, and he wouldn't
he's turning purple.
He's like,
he had it tight. He had it like.
what he said on the show today. I laughed my ass off. He goes, he would have had to fucking kill me. I wasn't tapping. I was like, oh shit, okay, Pat. Jesus. That's what he
Temper down. But yeah, I get it. I understand.
Ew. I was shocked by him. Yeah, good shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had some trouble coming up with stuff for this, but we'll continue on here.
Yeah.
Bob Nutting, talk about him for a second. Did something nice for Pirates fans for once. Allegedly gave everybody that was in attendance for Paul Skeen's bobblehead night a bobblehead. Rather than the first 20,000, he says, let's go. Let's give everybody a bobblehead. But the Bucko Bricks, the Sun-Kissed Lemonade, and just the constant ineptitude at the top of this organization, on a scale of 1 to 10, they fucked Bob Nutting for doing that because it just sheds more of a light on how big of a piece of shit he is.
I'm sorry. I was trying to keep it together when you were talking there.
I watched you.
I saw so many people about the dollar fucking the dollar hot dog night. They were happy about that. Yeah. And then the bobblehead. I'm like, this is minor league team stuff here. Like, this is so depressing to watch that we're celebrating the owner actually not being a jagoff and actually being a decent human being.
Good term.
But I'd say a 10. He just, I feel like he can't get worse, Trevor. He goes higher.
Can you take me high to just a place where blind men run franchises?
I hope everybody watching it took in how you delivered that. Because that was gold.
Like that's literally how I talked about it. Like, cool. Instead of not having Tommy Pham and not having Daniel Vogel back as our hitting coach, we get bobbleheads. Like, I was watching that on my computer actually, and if I hadn't smashed a computer about 5 months ago, I probably would have smashed this one.
Oh, that was good. That's top 10. We got to do a top 10 moments from the show. I was thinking about that.
Yeah, we'll get there.
That's up there.
Yes. The draft night last year is probably going to be up there.
Yeah.
But eventually that'll happen.
Yeah.
Last few here. On a scale of 1 to 10, is it fucked the 49ers Super Bowl window in light of George Kittle now being absent from voluntary workouts amid extension talks?
I'd say a 10.
Wow. Okay.
Also because of Purdy steal.
Yeah.
I think money's going to get. Yeah.
I was thinking an 8 because you can pay a quarterback and still be competitive, I guess. I mean, he can always restructure, but now like cornerstones of your franchise are coming at odds.
I'll pose this to you. I know this is I'm asking a question within a question, but
yeah, you're fine.
Do you think he's finally come down to earth, Purdy?
Who? Purdy?
That's just what I'm worried about.
Ask me next January.
Okay. And I think that's
January.
I think that's why the deal's not.
It's on that path.
Yeah. That's just where I'm at with it. Purdy's contract and Kittle.
I got you.
Kind of pulling a Rodman and going to watch wrestling, be involved in wrestling. Then
yeah, I like it. I like Kittle. He's a genuine wrestling fan. So.
Yes, he's doing that.
He's not. He does that. He does that on the field. Right. That's his favorite wrestler right there, Penta.
Yeah, it's good stuff. No, I
enjoy him.
It's just amazing how high they were, and now it's like
I know. Yeah,
Shanahan's losing control a little bit,
crashing and burning.
Mm-hmm.
Not good.
No.
Not good. It's a shame. On a scale of 1 to 10, are they fucked? I said I was at an 8, right? I said that. Anyway, Travis Hunter for saying he would never play football again if a team forced him to one position, whether wide receiver or cornerback. Like it just seems a little extreme, and I understand he's played both ways his entire life, but you're doing something that's almost unprecedented here, and you're basically demanding it. Otherwise, you're going to quit the game that you love and have loved for, I don't know, probably close to 2 decades, decade and a half.
I'm going to go 8.
Yeah, it's a little out there. I was at a 7. It's 6.5. Just knowing him and Shadir's ego, that was pretty mild, I guess, in comparison to some other stuff that they've said. But still,
just a lot of talent. I don't think he'll actually quit, Trevor, but that would just be a lot of talent wasted.
Agreed.
And yes, you are financially. He is probably, if he's managing his money right, he's going to be okay if he didn't play in the NFL. So
as long as he's got a good financial advisor.
Yes. Yep.
CPA. That's what you need. Hey,
right? Get a hold of him. Yeah.
I'll DM him.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, are they fucked? Nico Harrison's connection with the Mavs fan base after he said he knew the fans loved Luka, but not to the extent that they actually did now that he's gone.
I'm gonna go 10.
How unself-aware are you?
So
I get it. Even Cubans kind of coming to your aid a little bit, but he didn't like the fire Nico chance, and I get that, but you traded away a guy that said he wanted to be a lifer Maverick. Those don't come along very often. Mavs aren't exactly the biggest basketball market in the world. Not a whole lot of great talent comes there. I mean, I guess Steve Nash did, Dirk did, and Luka did. And now you send him away, and then it's like, I wasn't aware that the fans loved him this much. Like, dude. I'm a Sixers fan. I'm as far removed from a Mavericks fan as you possibly can be. Mm-hmm. Maybe if you're, it maybe being a Suns fan, it would be the only thing, they're kind of, but.
Right. I'd say, he's a 10. It would be like them trading Dirk.
Yeah.
How connected he was to the city. Lakers trading Kobe.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Stupid. Which, Charlotte traded Kobe, if you remember.
Lady Divock. Yeah. Guy smoked cigarettes at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
It's just anyway. Mm-hmm. I think that'll go down as all-time mess-ups in NBA history.
It's up there.
And so I don't know how he's not fired. Yeah.
He might be after this offseason. I don't know.
Yeah. You can't have the whole fan base turn on you. It's not. Yeah.
Spicy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, that is all I have for this week's edition of On a Scale of 1 to 10. Are they fucked? We can move over to debate time and then wrap it up before Thursday night's shindig.
It's going
to be chaos. Yeah. All right.
Because this song goes to on a scale. I'm gonna label them.
You don't have them labeled already?
I got them. I'll tell you after the show. Debate time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's how I have them labeled.
You gotta just change name. Type.
We're gonna change it. We're gonna make an adjustment. We're gonna go live. All right. We're gonna make it. Hey, this is a quota that buying this.
Once we start making money, we'll hire a producer for this shit. Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm done with this shit. All right, me and Trevor are. Yeah, we're gonna have.
Yeah, we can't do this. Like we gotta learn to where we can get by, but like
get some fucking kid and he can do an internship and master whatever the hell. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But no, here's a word of wisdom, life advice I live by, and I don't know if you want to take it or not, or just leave it in the dirt. But I live by this quote: "We'll make an adjustment to it, and we'll make a tradition." Okay. And
you know who said that?
It's from It's Always Sunny, but who?
Oh, okay. Oh man, I still gotta watch that. I still haven't.
Oh,
I gotta. It's on my list. Here's the thing. Right now, I kind of, as I went through busy season, I just needed something to turn my brain off, so I turned on Home Improvement. It's
a good show.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I gotta finish The Sopranos as well. I have to get back to that.
Yeah. But anyways, debate time here. Close out shop tonight.
Yes, sir.
The WWE is on fire like it has never. Look how I fucking wrote this. Did you ever think that the WWE would be on fire like it is now?
Not under Vince, that's for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. If Vince was still running the show, this wouldn't be damn near the product it is now. It's not as finely tuned as it was under Vince. That's because Vince was a perfectionist. Needed to know every single little detail. Then was in the commentator's ear, literally wrote scripts that, talent needed to remember word by word. But now it's like talent have creative freedom. The commentary has creative freedom. The emotion and the genuineness in the product and in these characters and how these characters are portrayed by the real life people that are doing this stuff. It just shines through. It's authentic, and I can tell they're just having a ball with it, as am I. I'm having a lot of fun watching this product. It was a little more white hot in the Attitude Era. Not going to lie to you. That is still probably the greatest period in wrestling history because you have one major company going up against another major company with a shit ton of money on both sides. And people jumping ship. People jump ship from WWE to AEW, but it wasn't like Hulk Hogan jumping ship.
Right.
It's like Ricochet jumping ship now. It's like Moxley. I guess Moxley's the biggest kind of guy to jump ship. I guess Jericho too early on, but it wasn't like your biggest star. The Golden Goose was jumping ship,
right.
Which, was kind of how the part of how the Attitude Era came about.
Right.
And part of how this era came about, obviously Vince was forced out for reasons outside of the ring. We won't get into that, but Triple H with how in tune he is with the audience, how in tune he is with his wrestlers' desires, and how beneficial like this current schedule and everything that the talent is now adept to. They were working how many days a week, didn't get vacations, didn't get off holidays. Now they're doing pre-tapes around the holidays so people can go spend time with family and all that. You're still putting out television every single time, but and just the writing too. Writing's a hell of a lot better. Yep. Whoever's in that writer's room, whether they change personnel or not, wonderful.
No, I agree. I have no argument. Attitude Era was a hell of a time. But now it just seems like
it's the best.
And you know what? The workplace, I think, is just not. I think he cares, Trevor.
Right? Yeah.
Because he went through, even though he's married to his daughter, he did go through some shit
under Vince. Yes, he went through a lot.
Yeah. Watch his biopic on WWE. He gets into that a little bit. I was shocked by it. I was like, "Well, okay." Your father-in-law started this shit, so is John Cena really the GOAT?
No, it's still Ric Flair. Yeah.
You have to. I know people have their opinions of him right now.
Well, I know WWE says he had 16 world titles, but there's some numbers floating around there where he actually won 21. So that's This is how it goes. This is
You
how it
know,
goes. And the thing I respect with Flair is he actually defended this thing all over the globe in different territories. Navigated being the greatest wrestler of all time in the territory days. Like,
Yes.
I get it. Like, John Cena is one of the GOATs. I get it. Him and Roman Reigns and, those types. You got to figure into the conversation. But navigating through the territory days and making yourself that big of a star outside of the biggest wrestling company in the world, that's hard. That's hard. And he would wrestle sometimes 3 times a day, 7 days a week. He'd wrestle like upwards of 15 matches a week. Insane schedule for that guy. Insane schedule. Not only that, and I know I'm going a little old school here with this, lived his gimmick to a freaking T.
Sacrificed his family.
No, I know. Yeah, right. For better or worse, he did live his gimmick, and I think now, obviously, the talent, you can separate the talent and the person behind the talent. I'm glad we've gotten to that point. But I know old school wrestling fans, and I do like old school wrestling as well.
Yeah.
Appreciate the fact that he lived his gimmick.
Yeah,
100% lived his gimmick.
And I think it's hard. When they were saying goat, Rock said it today. I'm like,
yeah,
okay, well, I get new. I think what I think our generation where we're at in life, Trevor,
sure.
We forget about the past. I mean, hey, we got Randy Savage, Hulk, Andre. Like, there's some guys here that you're kind of forgetting about a little bit when you say that. And I just want to be, we got to be careful. You know what I mean?
Don't get me wrong. Cena's probably on the Mount Rushmore for me, but Ric Flair's the headstone.
It has to. Yeah. JR comment.
Love that.
But no, JR is one of the best commentators. Michael Cole's getting up there for me. When I was watching
this past week, it took him to another step up, I think, after being attacked and then coming back out and then getting Euro chance. Like, yeah,
him and McAfee
know what they got now.
It's
beautiful.
I love it. You got a off the chain and guy that reigns the back end. Like, that's
it's the Sistine Chapel and wrestling announcing. It's wonderful.
It's awesome. But team to make the biggest mistake in the NFL draft.
Well, my normal pick would be the Raiders.
Correct.
But I did say they were going to kind of turn a corner this year organizationally. Let me kind of look at the draft order again real quick here. Let's see. The Jags, no. I mean, Seahawks. I'd tell you who's a decent candidate is the Seahawks.
Yes.
They're a decent candidate for a fuck up. Texans, too, if they don't go offensive line. I think that would be a huge mistake. Especially with the offensive line, the caliber of the talent that's in this year's draft. If any team out of the top 10, probably the Saints.
Yep. Them too.
Probably the Saints. Yeah. I'll say the Saints just because they're ninth overall. They're in the top 10. I mean, top 3, I don't think you can miss Carter, Ward, Travis Hunter. I mean, other than if you don't develop Cam Ward. I mean, we'll see, but no, Patriots. What's up?
Bengals.
Yeah, usually. Yeah, they're usually a good candidate as well. I'll go outside of the box here. I'll go Saints, though. I think Patriots under Vrabel, they're going to make a good choice at 4. Yep. And obviously, the development program that they have there, it's going to be good. Jags at 5. They can't really go wrong with anybody they pick at 5 either. Mm-hmm. Jets, maybe the Jets. Thing is, they can draft well. They just can't develop well. Well, I mean, Zach Wilson aside, but
Jesus,
yeah, bad pick. That was a pretty bad pick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll say the Saints. I'll say the Saints this year. They're a prime candidate for that.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Yeah, and I like the Bengals pick as well.
Yeah,
Just
they
knowing
need
that.
defense.
No, I know, and they might go offense.
And
if they go offense,
yeah, I'm okay with them shitting the bed.
That's fine. We can beat them 45-42 next year. That's fine.
Yes,
with Jackson Dart as our quarterback.
Yeah. But to wrap it up here, what are you most excited about NFL Draft Night Shindig 3rd Annual?
Are we doing shots on camera?
Well, I just people. I'm getting loaded. I mean, last year.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to keep it.
Okay.
I mean, last year we got the hour. Well, it was hour mark 3:30. Trevor's was holding it together better than me, and I'm just
passed out. Yeah, you were DED dead, bro. That wasn't fun. Honestly, yeah, I know it's kind of cliche and it goes along with my fandom, but who the Steelers pick? I'm very intrigued to see who they pick.
Yep.
Normally we're waiting about that amount of time anyway, and it's usually about the 2:30, 2:45 mark in the show that we're finally seeing them pick at 19, 20, 21, somewhere in there.
Yep.
So yeah, because they could go a bunch of different ways and have it make sense to the fan base, which that's kind of what I like about this year's draft. But it's also kind of a reflection of what we need. So it's double-edged sword. But yeah, I'll say who the Steelers pick. And of course, I got fireball shots over Easter. So if you want to, yeah.
Cool. I got a bottle staring at me over there. But yeah, no, we are gonna have a good time. We're not condoning alcohol, but it just makes things fun.
Drink responsibly. Like we're in our own homes. We're not driving. We're not at a bar making asses of ourselves. We're at home and on the internet making asses of ourselves.
Yeah.
Which is where that should be done.
Yeah. No. I know that wasn't really a debate question, but what I'll say, just have you guys follow along with us in the comments. Hear what Trevor has to say. See the reactions of these young men watching their lives change, and hopefully they take it fully as much as they can, because it's life changing this night. And that's, I think, what people forget too. But we got a comment in here. Yeah, no shit. But
that alludes to something else.
Yes, but anything else for the folk store before we head out here?
Oh, I got a couple quick ones for you.
Yeah.
Classic
shit.
New. Yes. Oh yeah. No, you're good. You're good. Classic or new era NFL draft venues, like Radio City Music Hall, and I guess they did it in Nashville a couple times. But do you like it that they do it like outdoors at the different cities now? Do you prefer that, or do you prefer like Radio City Music Hall?
Nostalgia with Radio City was awesome, but I think taking it on the road's it's a better product.
Okay, I agree too. Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, kind of a bit of an obvious one now that I kind of thought about it, but just was kind of intrigued to hear your opinion on the old ones.
I'll tell you,
it's developed and it's evolved, because it used to be just a room in like NFL headquarters. Now it's this potentially global thing. So
when they would shoot down that street though, outside Radio City Hall, and then they pan back, and then you see the guys walking in, and they're in there's nostalgia there.
Yeah, it's a good time. Yeah,
it was. Yeah. Cool. But I'll go on the road. Yeah,
I dig it.
Yeah.
Then along the lines of these players potentially becoming emotional, realizing their dreams.
Yep.
Might see a tear or two shed. Our Buckle Up with the Boys Be a Man question of the week: when is the last time you cried, and why?
I cry almost every fucking day over.
I know.
Stupid as shit.
Me too.
And I get emotional with this guy and guys in the comments. I think I'm bipolar, but not diagnosed. But I'm just kidding. I'd say when my little sister signed at Bona's.
Yeah.
That's there's a sense of not getting emotional on camera. But there was a sense of pride there. Yeah.
No, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you for sure.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of times that I've done it. Bald like a baby when Ben retired. Bald like a baby.
Oh, yeah.
I've shed many tears for lost pets over the years.
Oh,
yeah,
they're people, man.
Probably the worst. Yeah, but I'm trying to think of like the last time. Oh, you know what it was? It was actually on Saturday. I was watching an episode of Home Improvement where Jonathan Taylor Thomas's character has a cancer scare. And yeah. So I got a little like thinking about, eventually I do want children, and what as a parent, like what I say to that. That's a very, C word's one of the worst words in the English language.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, I didn't bawl, but I was welling up a little bit, held back a couple tears because, ends up that he didn't have cancer. Thank Christ. But
yeah. No. I think this is just
quick question in the comments. Any movies that made you shed a tear? I'll list mine first. Avengers Endgame. That's the top one. And then going along with losing the pets, Marley and Me. Bald like a baby.
Yeah. I view it as it's my favorite movie. It's one of the best. Trevor has to fucking hear this every time. I'm broken. I'm broken. It gets me every time.
Or that one too. Yeah.
Because I just he was Louis Zambriti, who was a runner, and then he quit his Olympic dream to go fight, and he gets captured. You watch it. If you haven't watched it, I'm going to ruin it all.
It's a good good story.
Patriots Day with Mark Wahlberg. Cry every time. An American Sniper.
It's on Netflix now, by the way.
When he's sitting in that room, in that living room, and he's hearing the helicopters and the guns fire, that scene gets me every time. Every time. Yeah. But yeah. No, movies. If it's a good scene, man, it'll make me pop. Yeah. It'll make me cry a little bit. But anything else, Trevor?
That's it. That's all I got, buddy. Looking forward to Thursday and doing this potentially with you for a couple more hours than we did tonight.
We're gonna pack it in here, folks. We probably got about a 3 to 4 hour show Thursday. I'm happy. There's a lot of there's more people than usual hanging out with us throughout the whole show. We got Trig. Where the hell?
The Broncos fan.
Yeah, where the hell's his name? A lot of comments.
Trig the boss. Trig
the boss. Thanks for joining us. Hope you come back for draft night. See what your Broncos do. Taylor came in. Captain Insano.
You should come upstairs and interrupt the show sometime.
Yeah,
I know you're out of town right now, but
Natester came in. Dustin, as usual, with his banter. But anyways, have a good day. Have a good night. Stay safe out there. God bless. This was another episode of Buckle Up with the Boys with your hosts here, Trevor Dinsmore and DB. We'll be back Thursday. Yeah, third annual. There's going to be a lot of drinking on Thursday. But come back Thursday, third annual draft night shindig. Follow along. If you have questions, we'll try to answer those. If you want to throw what you think, who your favorite team is, what have you, throw them in there. Don't be shy. We'll try to answer them as we go along. Giveaways throughout.
Join the giveaways.
Okay. And I just clarification note here. I know this is long-winded. We're trying to get out of here, Trevor. I had to put a post out. I'm not going to say I know who it is. I think I know who it is. I just want to make it clear. You will get your giveaway. You just need to help me and let me help you. We will send out that giveaway. We actually have probably the nicest giveaway coming out tomorrow for the last day leading up to the draft, with Jack Daniels featured in the basket as well. So be on the lookout for that. If you haven't joined yet, Generous Donor. We'll try to set the wheel.
Rig it for me.
We'll put Trevor.
All me.
But
I give you my address. You know where to send it.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys, and also I know there's last year was a big hit. We had the chart for you to follow along with the picks. Trevor has great insight, and yours truly will try to throw some stuff in there about the guy. But it's going to be a hell of a show, and we have a potential special guest coming in, notable face that's been on our program. Might pop in for about 10, 15 minutes. Played on the old baseball field. I'll leave it at that. Drafted by the
Does
Detroit.
He have 3 daughters?
3 daughters.
3 daughters.
Raider fan. Drafted by the Detroit Tigers. Hell of a shortstop. But have a good day. We appreciate it. All gas, no breaks.
Take care, y'all. See you Thursday.
If I don't shut up, you guys will be here till 3 hours.
The outro. Come on.